You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
You talk about a place where the people are carefree living. It is such a place of fun-loving, spraying and petting. It's the land where people don't care if Ash Wednesday fall on Good Friday. Man, they love the struggle in this happy, go-lucky way. It's Blokorama, Fetorama, and just now is Masorama. So the foreigner come for carnival, and he telling himself after he had a ball, Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. It's the foreigner in La Trinity, the people have a carnival mentality. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. They are not serious, very few conscious, so I cannot agree with my own chorus. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. But I hear some people talking about Revolution Day, changes on the way. They born in a land, the better parts controlled by the alien. They fill the pockets of Portuguese, Chinese and Syrian. Trinidadians is Bush's own land. Now is the time to make the land their possession. Their sense of taste could just trace to all them fancy showcase. So the businessman, he blow the mind, and his dollars, them got to find. Trinidad is nice for men like Sabda, Kupulani, Maraj, and Whitey Lima. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. Business expanding, more banks they dealing, so is the capitalists and them who should sing. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. And like the slave masters want to bring back the whip, and the chorus singing like they on a trip. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. But I hear my sister talking about Revolution Day, fire on the way. They don't know their worth, like they haven't a sense of value. They don't know their rights, even that they cannot argue. 750,000 people cannot get up and do something about the struggle, but to plan for the next holiday, to get their lives away, and forgetting that they own the soil of which their foreparents toil. For the people who form the constitution laws, for the oppressors and foreign investors. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. Amoco and Shell business did went swell, on your oil them foreign parasites dwell. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. Yet the song I sing, like if I hearing the chorus singing, God save the King. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. But I hear my brother talking about Revolution Day, fighting on the way.
truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
Yes, 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 yes. Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's in the village with the Dat triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. And you know, we have a national anthem here in the village. We have our own village national anthem. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you're from Macedonius, from Veneranius, from Saturninius, from Jupitonius, no matter what planet you're from, you're welcome in the village with the Dat triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, you may wear a pink t-shirt, you may wear a mauve t-shirt, you may wear an orange t-shirt, a yellow t-shirt, a gray t-shirt, and of course, you may also wear a red t-shirt or a yellow t-shirt. And don't forget, you may wear a green t-shirt or you may wear a blue t-shirt. Just remember, in the village with the Dat triplets, you are welcome. All opinions are welcome. Each and every opinion is welcome in the village with the Dat triplets. As we say here, we originate, we don't imitate. Let me bring in no other than 1/3 of the Dat triplets. It's Diana, the rose wearing, the scarf wearing, the hood wearing, Stormy, the Storm, Benskin, Waveney, Greta, Bagonian, Trin Bagonian, Bajan, McDonald. Boy, welcome, Greta.
I don't know why you gotta give the people all my name. But I wearing a yellow and a black t-shirt, like Bajan flag color.
All right. The Bajan flag color. All
Yeah, I
right.
wear
So,
Bajan flag.
so what is it with the red?
Yellow, blue, and black. Huh?
What is with the red bow? The red bow
With
or
the
the red
red bow?
flower? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
But the red blow, I have green down here. I have green that can't be seen. I have
No.
a black
We don't
t-shirt.
listen. We don't. Please don't get personal with us. It's okay. You're not, you're not, you're not interested. You're not-
You started it. So I'm telling you, I'm wearing green that cannot be seen.
oh yeah,
All
like
right, you all
I
can
know
figure it
people.
out. Well, they want it could be socks.
Okay,
Or they
yeah,
have dirty minds. Dirty,
no, I
dirty.
mean you
Or
said down there. That's what you said.
I said I'm wearing green that cannot be seen. I never said number down there. You see all the PNM people? You have too much
Oh,
balancing
okay.
wax in your ears.
All
All right,
right.
go to the ear doctor and get your ear flushed.
My mistake on your error. It's okay.
That's right. Also, as you see, folks, I'm not in my usual domain. I went to a concert last night to see OJ's and Gladys Knight. I was in a state of musical utopia.
Hey,
And tomorrow I'm going to see the Commodores
it's
because
still
I
the
love
pip.
music.
It's
Huh?
still the pip or the pip. The pip's gone quiet.
I don't know. I just had Gladys Knight, so
Oh,
I don't
used to
know.
be Gladys Knight and the
But
pip.
if you were blind, and you heard her voice, you would know it's Gladys Knight. She still has that strong vocal. You know what I mean? I mean, like, whoa. She's 78, I think she said she was, and she's a little frail,
Mm.
but she hold her own, boy.
I
Yeah,
like to hear that. That's wonderful.
she
Let me
she
say
delivered.
let me say a special welcome to no other than Tommy, the commissioner in Newark, Marshall Nisbet, boy. Thomas, how are
Good
you?
evening, good evening, my friends. It's a pleasure to be in your company again today. And I see the storm is having a good time, and
Yeah.
that's wonderful. It's nice to be entertained, to enjoy the arts and entertainment from time to time.
And I understand Barris is at NJ Park today,
Barry
Yep,
Simon.
and that was sold out. I couldn't even get a ticket to that.
Oh, God. Well, look at that. But
that's in our
folks,
backyard, Slim. That's in our backyard,
yeah.
Slim.
Tommy, and I go talk to you about that Caribbean carnival what they have in there in Orange. Yeah? I feel
Yeah.
they got to change our name, That Caribbean carnival,
We're
Well,
gonna change it to.
Eh?
We're gonna change it to.
Yeah, we got to Tommy with this Commissioner Nesbitt.
yeah,
Wanna
we
change
will.
it to. Wanna
We
change
will
it to
do this.
Trinidad Carnival? There's all kind of people who are partying, so you can't do that.
Why you say Trinidad Carnival? What's wrong with you? You
Well,
ain't
you
here.
know.
You ain't here
Oh,
arguing with the people from Tobago already. But wait, let me do it quicker because Errol Fabien will be joining us shortly. Let me just go and do the superlatives here in the village. Well, folks, what I had to do today, I had to take a photo, a screenshot of our chat today because I went in the chat and when you restart the chat, it starts all over again. So I don't want to hear people go tell me all kind of thing and slam you this and slam you that here. But first in the chat today was our good friend from Lavantil. She's very happy now they're gonna renovate the building in Chumaka, Lavantil. She ain't say it yet in the chat. Because remember, she told me stop talking about the building. But she's very happy now. We're gonna see a splendiferous, marvelous, tremendous, fantabulous, splentastic, splentifulous building up in the hills of Lavantil. So the first in today was Joan Jadube. Joan Jadube was in at 2:47 today. So yeah. Joan. But on the chat here, it's showing that it's Takesha. But
That's right.
I restarted. I went out the page and I came back in. And I had to take a
I
screenshot
saw
just
them both. Yeah,
right.
I
So
saw both.
Joan walked really fast to make it to the head of the class, boy.
yeah. Joan was first, second, and third, and of course Takesha was fourth, and then so on. And one of Joan posts said The sun is hot.
Mm-hmm.
Wait now. Is the sun ever cold?
Yeah.
Good question. I
Any,
know
any
I can
winter time?
I can remember
No.
when my grandmother, God rest her soul, came here in the 70s,
Yeah.
and she was inside and she looked outside and the sun was so bright,
Mm,
and she ran outside.
mm.
When she felt how cold it was, she ran back in screaming.
Yeah.
That was me. That was me when I went to Germany. I the first time in 1979, 80, somewhere there. So I said I went to, for my first experience with snow, and it was all up to the door where I was. And I said, okay, I going outside, but the person told me, hey, you need to put on a taller boot. I had a little 3/4 boot on with spike heel, going outside. I put on just a rag, and the sun shining and making the snow glitter now. That's where the sun shining. So mm,
You know, it's interesting you guys talk about that, right? So let me finish here. So then came Takesha. Takesha said only love in the village, no room for hate
that's right.
or negativity, yes. Takesha also says, I'm so depressed now with all the murders that's taking place. Yeah, boy, it is too much bloodshed, boy. Too much bloodshed. Look, the real estate agent, the plantologist, and the
The
he is here to
recycle
police.
doors.
Yeah, the recyclist, not cyclist, the recyclist. He's in pretty early tonight. Ulrich, welcome. Then we have, of course, our good friend, our Pep friend. Yeah. We have people from Pep in here too. Highly welcome. How are you?
I know highly in Pep.
Huh?
Oh, you know highly for Pep.
Highly, can you put in the chat that you're supporting Pep, please? So I could confirm it.
Whether it's true or not.
Whether
It's true or
not. No, I don't support Pep. Ali's a Pep. Aliana, we partner from over, so who does join us ever so often? The box fella, na? Yeah?
Which box fella is that? I don't know.
The box fella.
Which box fella is that?
You know the fella with the box?
What fella you talking about? Tommy, you know what you talking about?
It's that one person when he join us from something box.
opinion.
Yeah. Oh, my
Boy,
man, yeah.
Sometimes you gotta read, write, and spell for you, boy. I think
Hello. I don't want to assume.
I think you went to Gladys Knights and the pips and you take the pips to go, man.
Are you talking about Mr.
On
Jones?
midnight train to Georgia.
Are you talking about Mr. Jones?
Mr. Jones? Nah. Who's that one, Tommy? Nah.
Isn't that his?
No. Box. You know what I'm talking about.
The box. But Tommy, you get it right.
Opinion box.
Yeah. I don't know. But
figured it out after, but I didn't want to call him out,
I don't know it, but a yellow birdie tell me. I don't know. So Adrian, them people say opinion box. They say that you and highly go pay it in the chat, right? All your Pep
But
followers.
isn't his name Adrian Jones?
Yeah, his name is Adrian. You know his name is Adrian in truth. No, you're right, Tommy, you're absolutely correct.
Okay.
When I hear Adrian, I know like people that say people don't know my name, right? They didn't used to know my name. They just knew me as Wall Street. Now they know my name is Anselm Libon. You know what I mean? And so a lot of people didn't know that because when they hear Anselm Libon, they think it's a French school from Westmoreland. They know I'm from Chumakak Morin.
West Chumakak.
No, it's Chumorin. I'm from Chumorin. I'm from Chumorin.
But you can't moor a boat on a hill. It's Noah's Ark.
Correct is right, Right? So Nadia says, Ansem, Tommy, Diana, Benskin, good night. Rennie inside early tonight, boy. Rennie inside. What tax? You're inside early
Good
tonight.
night, Nat.
Yeah. Kapiza, you're inside. All Kapizas want to talk about is suffering. I don't know, boy. I don't know Kapiza, boy. I don't know. I think you hear that song, Sufferers, boy. Yeah.
Oh.
So
But
go ahead, Tommy.
I'm not in such a great mood tonight. I feel very terrible. But say what you're saying first, and then I'll tell you why I feel so bad.
Oh no.
Well, Tommy, you are a person who you are always on a level keel, you know. You know me. Sometimes my
Hey,
chumac does come out.
hey.
What's
What
that?
I mean?
What do you mean what I mean? Tommy's was on a level keel. That's
Well,
why Tommy,
you didn't include me in there.
I never see a storm yet. Come on a level. I never see a level storm yet. You know, sometimes storm that started like 20
Oh
kilometers,
no, you
20
don't
miles
like
per hour.
it.
And before it reach rate going, it's up to 80 miles per hour. I don't know that. If you want me to, nah, sorry. I'm sorry. But let me get back to Tommy.
Oh God.
Yeah, Tommy, you always on a very level playing field. You understand? All of us have different characteristics. You know, my characteristic is I will talk one thing now, and before the next 2 minutes, I talk about 5 different things. You understand? But Tommy, what is you want to tell us about?
Well, let me tell you what has me feeling badly, especially as a Caribbean commissioner here in the city, representing. Even though I represent Trinidad, we deal with the entire Caribbean. It hurts me, my heart so badly for Anderson Peters as to what transpired on that harbor master vessel in Grenada involving 6 Trinidadians. I mean,
Police again.
it doesn't augur well at all for Caribbean unity.
Terrible.
Painful.
You know, Tommy, boy, we have become a violent society in Trinidad and Tobago.
In the world.
A violent
And now we're
society.
exporting it.
Eh? Say that again?
And we're exporting it, our anger.
Yes. And that is so unacceptable. Eh? And you know the thing, boy? Now, the Prime Minister do have to talk about everything, eh? You know, man? But there are certain things you need to hear from the leader, man. And it's like, he's silent, boy. Serious thing, that man, just silence. Listen, I know you just get over COVID, but it's like silence at the lamb, boy. Not one word.
But answer, I have issues. I feel very badly today too, Tommy. And I wanted to bring it up on another show, but we'll talk about it. Here, we see across the globe, here too, men can decide tomorrow, well, I go in and be a woman. They do what they want with their body. Right? They can go and have transgender surgery, whatever. They can do what they want with their body. But the Supreme Court wants to tell me what I can do with mine. You see, fit? Is it? Okay.
You know, Diana, it's interesting that you said that, eh? Because there was a young lady from South Africa named Caster Semenya.
Yep.
One of the best 800 meters female runners in the world. And she born with high testosterone. She just born with it. Right? You know, them wicked people and evil people want that girl to go and take drugs to lower her testosterone, and they ban her from running any event from 100 all the way up to 1500. And she born so, you know. It's not like if, she gonna have surgery or something, you know. Them wicked and evil. And when them East Germans and them was doping left, right, and center. And them looking more man than woman.
And the Russians, remember, then in the acrobat thing, allegedly,
back in the
allegedly.
80s. And they must running times. Look, the world record in the women's 400 meters like 47.63. 47, eh? 47 seconds, 47.63 seconds. You know, it's a big hard back man can run that time. And them was doing that back in the 80s.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden, we come now, and the young lady was born like that. And they was she to go and, you know, imagine that. They want you to go and take drugs to lower something that occurs naturally in your body.
And I read an article where all along the same, you know, the Jamaican authorities are concerned about the fertility rate that is happening. The women aren't, a lot of children aren't being born. So when they start to clock it, you know, that thing can affect a society. You know, you have enough people to, you know, grow up and pay the tax, work and pay taxes and blah, 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 blah. They want women to make more children.
Well,
fertility rate has dropped.
But they also say that some people want certain people to make less children.
You see when the spin bowling, but the Jamaican society is a society of people of Black and Indians, and you know, so on one hand they want us not to, you know, Black people not to make, but yet on the other hand they're not doing it in Jamaica, but they want them to raise the fertility rate. And the white people are well, here, evangelical side, they are not for Planned Parenthood, and they think that they're becoming a minority. And I'm like, oh boy, who cares?
They
you know,
stop making babies. You know what I mean?
It's a ball of confusion.
The temptation. Yeah, temptation is gonna come like that.
Yeah, I know. You see, you have one segment who say they're into eugenics. Oh gosh, and then you have there's just so much going on.
And I follow this Newsweek. Sorry, Tommy, Newsweek, right? And it puts out a lot of articles. And the other day I read an article where a pig's liver heart, I think of a pig heart, and they revived the pig. Yes, they revived the pig after it was pronounced dead for an hour, and it lived a little while and then died again.
Oh God, Lord have His mercy.
I even saw an experiment where they put a pig's heart into a man.
He expired, didn't he? Eventually, I think he did. So you see with all the, and my issue, my main thing I'm following up, I'm reading up a lot of stuff on. Men are getting up, and a little boy child come home and say, Mommy, my name, if his name was Andy, and you can come, my name is Annabelle, and don't call me any Andy. You dare not try to chastise that child or correct them, or the authorities coming for you. You go into the school and tell them, mommy buff me and call me all kind of weird names. Child abuse, because your child does not want to be a boy anymore.
I see Errol yet, you know.
You didn't see him yet?
No.
All right, let me go out and see what's going on. I'll call it.
Yeah, so you know, Tommy boy, we have, you know, Tommy, I'm getting very concerned. Eh? Not that I wasn't concerned, but the murder rate, the violence in Trinidad, boy, seem to be out of hand.
We have morphed into a super angry society.
I mean, what it is my understanding though that the guy may have spit in someone's face or something. That's what I about. The guy master, yeah.
Yeah, but I understand the initial cause of the problem was that he just came back home, so he's doing like his tour.
Right.
You know, meeting the people and so on and so forth. There was one cruise and there's a second cruise that was taking place. He asked the sponsor of the cruise to stay on for the second cruise, so he would have done two cruises back to back. And while he's on the ship, here comes some of the workers and crew members and tell him that he has to get off the ship. And he insists that he wasn't doing so because he had permission to stay. And the whole thing went from bad to worse. And they abused, they brutalized the man to the point where they threw him into the water as though they wanted him dead.
But Tommy, it reminds me the other day with the other, was it a Grenadian boat or a St. Vincent boat?
A Grenadian boat.
You remember that?
Yes, yes.
It just seemed like if, I mean, we have become a violent society that's acceptable.
It's scary. It's scary. It's scary to be in Trinidad or to be around Trinidadians with that type of attitude. And I don't think out here in the diaspora we are like that.
Tommy, people go questions and all kind of language now, you know, because some people are saying that, boy, I rather stay in Brooklyn or stay in New Jersey or stay in the tri-state area than go back home today.
Well, that's what I'm hearing. I've heard that time and again.
I've heard it over and over and over and over.
I've heard it time and again lately.
And that's a sad state of affair, man.
But the truth is an offense. You know?
And Tommy, I had to say something, eh? You know, when I look at the acting commissioner of police, going from Gary Griffith to acting commissioner of police, McDonald Jacob, it don't seem like if he is doing to put any fear in the criminals in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, I'm happy that there's less extrajudicial killings under him, and it appears that there's no more one-shot, one-kill policy for the TTPS. I like that, right? But there is something missing with respect to ACOP Jacob. Something just missing. Something, it don't seem to be right. And let me give you an example. When PC Jigs was killed by friendly fire, ACOP Jacob took the bait and went public and talk about the guy who they're looking for, right? And he shot the police and so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, it was totally inaccurate. You know, totally inaccurate. So, I don't know, Tommy. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't think the way it is in Trinidad today that he has really put a stamp on the things that he can do to improve the crime rate in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know. That's just me. What do you think?
You know, there's some basic elements, societal elements that are missing here. Respect for each other. Just basic respect for each other. And one of our watchwords is discipline, tolerance. What about tolerance and production? Even just the first two, discipline and tolerance. If we were to just take those words seriously.
But Tommy, how we go take that word seriously when the political leader and the opposition leader, all they're doing is
slinging mud.
Diana, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I listened to our program today, and I wanted to call them and say, listen, man, a fish doesn't rotten from the tail. Right? One person who's the prime minister calling people imps, pimps, and chimps. Right? The other one talking about people and their slave master names. Where we going? Where we going?
And look, the latest fiasco, the new thing is horn. Who horning who? I don't know how that helps the women in Trinidad and Tobago who are struggling now to fill their children's book list. That man, how he's trying to find $1 to give that woman to help her fill that book list. I don't know, how does that fiasco help? How does it repair the roads? How does it bring down the murder rate? How does it create a safe society? They're following the wrong things. And I want to say, I came across something in my readings, and I said I commit certain things to my head. Empowered people empower people. And we here at WZYE, we are empowered people. Anselm is empowered. He owns the station. Anselm put me on the platform with him. He has empowered me so that I can do what I got to do for you all and for my poetry and stuff. He's taught me along. We had Gary in there. He empowered people. So empowered people empower other people. So we're trying to empower the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to act right, act differently. If you want to be empowered to help yourself and your children and your grandchildren. But no, y'all want to subscribe to the bacchanal and confusion. I don't care who sleeps with who. Is that putting money in your pocket to pay your bills, to handle your domestic situation? Dana, come on.
Dana, you hear the song I play first? This place nice.
Trinidad's a paradise.
Yeah, this place nice. We can't look. Watch. That a March Friday. A big truck blasting music and they're whining going down the road. They're whining going down the road. Emancipation Day, big truck and they're whining going down the road. Eh?
Nobody got no worries.
What worries? That what this place nice? This place nice. Watch. When them 3 fellas was murdered, all you see as much people on the street as all you see Friday and an Emancipation Day.
And he stink and dirty fat.
And he stink and dirty fat. And he get naked or whatever it is. Or come naked, whoever it is. All you see that? All you see what our priorities are?
Yeah, the priorities are flipped on
the road with music. And all are we coming and whining. We whining to the side. And we drinking water too. And we eating jelly. Nadia Basta, not the other one. They eat jelly, take bamboo, and drink water. We like it so. And when we tell all you so, hey, them never in here. Why don't they stay in America? Them always want to tell people what they want to do and this, that, and the other. Eh?
Gary did not get dispowered. Gary went his own, willfully severed his ties.
Who said that?
Okay?
Who said that?
That's Rennie Mohammed. Don't let me go and find the whip for you, Rennie. And I get an Oric making a leather suit for me. Watch yourself, All right.
We have had a very cordial. But Ellis says, Wall Street, my brother, can someone make a mistake? Life is about learning when you learn. Ellis, full 100. But Ellis, you have to understand, when you are an acting commissioner of police, you have to be very, very strategic in your actions. You have to be strategic. You can't just let a few police officers come and hey, you see that little fella there? He was shooting at me, and he shoot, and he killed the fella. You come and you say, well, listen, I don't have all the facts right now, right? Once all the facts come to hand, I will be able to give you a more informed opinion.
Yeah. Or make a more informed statement.
Or make a more informed statement. Thank you, Tommy. Right? This is not about mistakes. We all make mistakes. And we all have to learn from our mistakes. But, Ellis, there are certain mistakes you could avoid. If them people come and tell you a fella was shooting, all right? I would say, listen, let me get all the facts. And once all the facts are on the table, then I'll be able to issue an informed statement or an informed opinion. He jumped to conclusion one time. Maybe that is what he wanted the people of the country to believe, that fella was a bandit. And And boy, that fella lucky because he would have been dead right now if them had the way.
And then now you found out these 8 cops fabricated the whole thing when those guys were murdered. And God knows how many more happened. And they didn't have no camera running to record what happened. How many more?
What happened to them 3 kids that was murdered just the other day? I wonder if they put in a committee to investigate that too. Or a commission. They put in a commission.
Because the society is not holding them at task. And they, unfortunately, they're individuals in the society. And I'm going to call one of, like our brother, Brother Abdullah, right? Who went on behalf of the children that was, you know, the parents saying they weren't treated well. He got assaulted and his wrist broken, had surgery and stuff. You know, I mean, you're right. They become a violent society.
Yeah.
And sometimes I study and say, I wonder if it's the jab that they got with the Jews they got jabbed with making them. So I don't know.
No. I don't think so. But
that'll put you in trouble if you make that statement. Yeah, but all I have to say is that thank God that God still is real, for the mere reason that if God wasn't real, some of the things that are being revealed would not have been revealed.
And Ellis, Jesus didn't make a mistake and trust Judas. Jesus's life was already written that what he was going. He knew Judas, and he said before the rooster crows 3 times, you're all going to deny. He predicted these things. You know, he didn't make a mistake. He knew what was going. He was sent on the earth to do he had to go through what he had to go through. So he didn't make any mistake.
Darrell Legal says, we are very tolerant of corrupt politicians, Tommy. And he's absolutely correct.
Absolutely.
He's absolutely correct. We are tolerant. Especially if it's my party, especially if it's my party. And we are tolerant of people in my party denigrating, demonizing, destroying, and dismissing people. We just tolerate that because it's my party.
I have a question when you're done my answer. I have a question for both of you. Because I have I can't recall saying, this party is my party. Unless I had a birthday party, which I can't remember, right? I said, you know, I'm not going to say Democrats is my party, PNM. No, I don't know. And I think that's part of the problem. How they get to be your party? Say a party you support, right? But I keep saying, be an individual and let them work for your vote, and you know, stop law. Because Anselm, you know, I'm gonna bite you today. You constantly you jab Dr. Rowley and them, but you keep in a supportive way for the party. If my people suffering and so many long years this building, I don't want I disowning them, and I'm gonna bring the party card and drop it in a garbage bag. I disowning them for treating my people that way.
So Diana,
and if they want my vote, well, go and do something for them. Then I probably will come back with my supporters. But to tell you are responsible. You need to tell the PNM, I am not with you.
Diana, if my kids misbehave, should I just own them?
Should you what?
Should I just own them if my kids misbehave? Should I just own them?
Not disown them, but you take away stuff from them.
You
take away your support.
Yeah, go ahead, Tommy. Now just get a call.
You are not to disown your kids, but you have to remember, you have to show your kids a good example that you don't exercise blind loyalty.
Tommy, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And my kids can see that not because your father support a party, your father goes blindly and whatever to tell your father taking that and cool it. Martin Luther King says, your life ends the day you remain silent about things that matter. Let me repeat that. Martin Luther King says, your life ends the day you remain silent about things that matter. You see, for too long, we get...
a call from someone informing me that Errol Fabien is tied up with Gael right now, but Gary Griffin instructed him to call and let us know he'll be joining us after 8.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. So Diana, let me say this. Tommy raised a good point.
I didn't hear the point.
Tommy, go ahead. Repeat your point first.
I said to him, his children, of course, he can't disown them, but at the same time, he has to display a responsibility in the fact that he doesn't exercise blind loyalty to any organization whatsoever.
So my kids can take an example out of their dad and see that even though their dad is supporting this party, if the party is going in the wrong direction and the leader is not doing the right thing for the country, his dad has the kahunas, the testicular fortitude, like a Christmas tree in the forest with no balls. He will stand up and be counted.
However, Anselm, my grandmother always tell me, don't say but. However, your voice is a strong voice. They respect your opinions. They respect you, and so you should act in that realm and let them know, I am not going to support you anymore because you are causing my people to suffer.
So wait.
I will not be supporting you. Count me out. You have to publicly let them know. Because if I were in your shoes, I'm not telling you have to, but if I were in your shoes and I had a great affiliation with any one party, and the women suffering, can't fill their booklet, they're being raped, trafficked, missing. The old people, they can't get the pension. They're not getting the amount they're supposed to get, $100 a day, and a whole heap of things. The road network. But I personally was gonna take a stance and say, here is your party card. I want nothing to do with you until you remedy my people that are suffering.
Well,
that's
Diana,
what you need to do.
I choose a different tack.
Okay.
I choose.
It's respected.
You see what happens is that in Trinidad and Tobago, when people get upset with our party, they leave the party and they go join our next party. That is the modus operandi in Trinidad and Tobago. I get vexed with them. I go to the UNC. I go to the ILP. I go to the NTA. I go to the COP. I go to the PDP. That is the modus operandi. That is how it operates.
At this point in time, Ansem, me and you good. And all get me and Ansem, we ain't bad, me good. I think it is time now, Anselm, for you to say to the PNM, I am not going to be behind the PNM anymore. You all don't appear to be alleviating the suffering of my people or people look like me that put their vote in the PNM bank loyally. Try it and see.
No,
you
don't
have nothing to lose.
Anna, you don't understand. No, then you don't understand.
What is it I don't understand?
Go ahead, Tommy.
Let me say something.
Go ahead.
Let me say something. If you want something to change and you believe that you can make a difference in
it starts
getting
with you.
The change, not just that, but you can't. It's easier to do it from within than without.
Tommy, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You see, this is part of the problem. Once a person says, you know what, I no longer supporting them, you are irrelevant now. Irrelevant. You have become irrelevant. Nobody ain't taking you on. None. Zero. No duck. And let me prove a point to you now. Watch. You see they're going to renovate the building in Chumakak, right? Not that they go do it today. But if I was a UNC, you know what I say? That is expected of them. He's a UNC. He go always come and complain about the PNM. He go complain about the PNM. No, you following their playbook to a T.
No,
I'm making up my own playbook.
Let me speak for myself.
My own playbook.
Let me speak for myself. I don't have no ID card for Trinidad and Tobago, so I can't be supporting nobody. I don't know who to. I don't give me a chance to go and put my finger in no ink, right? I am of the firm belief that they decide to do this now because the local elections are around the corner. And they're gonna do all kind of trinket, like Christopher Columbus come with mirror and with shiny trinkets and stuff and trick the indigenous people. It is alleged also he even brought over infected blankets with smallpox, and they get it. They want to wave these things and hypnotize them. So by the time election day come, they go in blindly and they're gonna stick the finger back at the same thing and back in a hole. You're not getting out. No change.
But Diana,
Same thing going on.
Tommy,
And I heard Tommy, and you are a prominent voice inside there. If I was inside there, I had to take the card that I have and rip it to pieces in front of them. That is me. Rip. I don't want no. I'm not supporting you. My people suffering.
Even though we're saying you are not, or you should not exercise blind loyalty, at the same time, we trying to be objective about the approach. And if you're inside, you can get more done.
People that don't want to do business with foreign people that, from the time you come from outside and you're offering proposals to make things better, they should. How can you be objective with people like that? How can I be objective with an incumbent government that everywhere I go to get my ID card that is due to me, they won't give it? How can I be objective? What is the problem? They're not.
See, the problem is just not one party or another, or one government or another. The problem is societal and the attitudes. That's what we're talking about. Yeah. It doesn't matter if Joshua is in power or Curtis Blow is in power. We realize there's an attitude that needs to change.
Yeah.
And they have everything backward. When you're born, you have a birth paper, you don't have no passport. So why do I need a passport to get my ID card? That is a backward, archaic, Jurassic thing. Huh? With a valid picture ID and my birth paper, I should be able to get processed for my ID card. The Jurassic and backward and vintage all together in one.
But Diana,
that is the problem.
Tommy made.
I want to apologize for the noise in the back. I want
to. Tommy made a splendiferous point, and that is my point. I don't know if Tommy went into my brain and figured out that is my point, but he's absolutely correct.
I stay in your brain and asking, and your brain right through.
You want to make a change, and you trying to make a change as an outsider? Eh? Boy, in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, here's where I will read.
Diana, look at us. Look at us, Diana. That's a great point. Look at us.
I will rebut that statement myself. Give me my ID card and let me show you the change I will make.
Look how they ostracize us as outsiders. And what Dr. Rowley say about us? What do you say about
troublemakers, mischief makers, rebel rousers. I tell him that Jesus Christ was a rebel rouser, Martin Luther King, Uriah Buzz Butler are in good company.
Don't worry, Diana. Diana, the proof is in the pudding that I, as a supporter of the
party... It's in the eating, not the pudding.
Yeah. Right? And I... You see, and this is part of the problem, eh? It's a problem. But it's like people say to me,
Zaid say I'm an illegal immigrant. Hello? Illegal immigrant where, Zaid? I am on God's given earth. God gave us this earth and all the free things up there that people come and put patents on and resell to us. Oh God. Or they will put borders and say that, well, here is Trinidad and there's Barbados and there's Venezuela and there. You understand? I am an illegal immigrant. Where, Zaid? I'm not illegal in Trinidad. I was born there. I'm not illegal here in the United States. I'm a citizen. I'm not illegal in Barbados. I'm a citizen there too. So where am I illegal, Zaid?
So that Alice says, Dan, my big sister, you know why people enjoy the idea that Rowley getting horn? Trinidad people which other people bad. More people will turn up at your funeral unless at your birthday party.
Chris said that Diana is like, I want old age pension from Trinidad. Oh God! Now tell me what am I gonna do with it?
Yeah, Rennie Mohammed. Yeah, Rennie Mohammed. The whole place could burn down. We
The
jamming
jamming
still. We jamming still. The
his
village
treasure could
could burn
fall
down.
down.
We jamming still. Just
Yeah.
take it and cool it. Like the dies we. Anything to jam and wine by. What's wrong with you? Ain't a style of my carnival, you know. When carnival come, I go no man jam and wine, you know. Because I'm Trinidadian. But it's time
What
and
somebody
place.
say? Well, let's say God give us royal jail to come. We waiting in the airport for you with a nice paper.
Yeah.
Ellis, are you threatening me?
On another note,
yeah.
on another note, our finance minister in Trinidad and Tobago is making pronouncements that we are experiencing record incomes from our energy sector.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then it's time the people. It's time for the people to insist that we have the things that needs to be taken care of addressed promptly and forthwith as a matter of priority.
No.
But then they just raised the price on some things. Well, the price of the oil or so. What was raised in that energy sector that the people use?
What's gas?
Yeah, okay then.
Well,
So
the natural gas, the urea, the byproducts from the natural gas.
We making money from fertilizer, you know.
Okay.
Fertilizers.
We making money, you know. Ellis
They're
says
making money from fertilizer. They have
money,
to
but record profit.
You see, but hey, Tommy, people don't want to hear that. People, come on, man. People won't hear that in Trinidad and Tobago about, them discussing economics in Trinidad and Tobago. You understand? To me, sometimes it sounds like the people want to hear that. And when you talk about economics, tell what Ellis says. I was at the protest and it was very successful, if you ask me. I sold 30 food bowls and made a little change. That's success. Yeah? Yeah? That makes sense. You go to the Emancipation Day march, right? Take some water with you, right? Or take something with you and sell it to them. Let them wine. Make sure they get thirsty, and sell them something. I tell you, it's the same thing. I with my entrepreneurial skills, I go in Trinidad, go in Maracas, when I selling t-shirt, I sell real t-shirt. Boy, and I go into everything because I spend any profits. I go into the best fat. I go in everything from the profit I make from the t-shirt on them. And a partner might tell me, boy, a partner might tell me, but hey, Slim boy, what you doing selling t-shirt on Maracas Bay? I said, well, I'm gonna fella, boy. Even get Chumaka Cavanti, I grew up with. So folks, let's go for a quick station identification. It's in the village with the dark triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. When we come back, we're going to have our first guest in the village with us, no other than Errol Fabien. Stick and stay, don't go nowhere. It's in the village with the dark triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We'll be right back after this short message.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
I see two big men in Christian service. When I tell you two big men arguing about whose son more stupid. And it bothered me, so that's why I'm talking about it, because children learn what they live. You understand? And there is two big men arguing about whose son more stupid. He said, my son real stupid boy. He said, no boy, my son better. He said, no boy, my son real dotish. He said, nah friend, your son can't be more dotish than my son. Let me show you something. And he called me something. He said, Junior! Yes, Daddy? He said, Junior,
you are listening
take
to
this $20.
EL.
and go and buy me a motor car. Do not take off. He says, yo, don't take that boy, you know, because the boy is shopping, the fella said, that's nothing. Harry! Yes, Daddy? He said, Harry, go downtown by the restaurant where Ida's lying and see if you see me there. He said, if you see me there, tell me that I said to come up the road now. He said, okay, Daddy, and go. He said, now that is a duty story. But remember, children learn what they. So when I rounds the corner, what I could bounce up, the two little boys arguing about who father knows. He said, my father that notice you. He said, no, partner, my father noticed. Let me tell you how stupid my father is. He gave me just $20 and sent me to buy a motor car. How could a big man be so stupid? He said he would Lexus, Toyota, Mazda, power, when no CD player, rim, nothing. DVD, nothing. The man said, the man was stupid, and the next one, that is nothing, boy. My father is the one who's stupid. You know what he tell me to do? He sent me to go in town by the restaurant where does lying. To see if I see he. To tell he that he say to come up the road. No, that man stupid never phone he could have called.
We are back with you. It's Individuals with the Dark Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come here Thursday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. And let's welcome in the village no other than our guest, Mr. Errol Fabien.
That's right. Good evening to you. Good evening to your guests. And let me apologize. When you're running a live TV station, anything can happen. And I was trapped in master control. So forgive me, but I'm now all yours for the rest of the evening, however long you'd like.
Boss, we understand. You're running your own business, we understand.
Just right. Right.
And your business is an iconic business in Trinidad and Tobago.
Wow.
You have to continue to do whatever you have to do.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, we fully understand that. So by the way, how are you doing anyway? How are things going with you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm enjoying very, very good health, I'll have to say. The space is opening back up. So as an entertainer, I'm getting bookings again. And of course, I have a lot of other aspects of my life. For example, today I had 2 talks to do. One at an ashram in Freeport for some young people and their parents this morning, and this afternoon for a football club in Roystonia in Couva. So this is something I do quite often, which is going to chat with young people about substance abuse or to do what they like to call motivational talking, but it's really just me sharing my truth with them.
Errol, I didn't know about, your background with respect to, you talk about substance abuse. I didn't know that, you were a recovering person,
I am a recovering drug addict.
Yeah. Talk about a little bit about that, because sometimes people see you as a comedian. You are so fantabulous and splendiferous as a comedian, and
Wait, who is the comedian here? Who is the comedian here?
But sometimes people don't really know what a person have been through, and the difficulties, and because this is an ongoing thing on a daily basis for you. Just talk a little bit about it.
Well, I embraced recovery on the first day of March 1988. I actually was taken into a drug rehab center on the 29th of February 1988. And it has been quite a journey. Initially, it was a very, very challenging and very difficult journey. I wanted to turn back, of course, and were it not for my then wife, Errol Fabien, who I think never lost sight of the human being. A lot of people lost sight of the human being and saw my behavior alone, and they couldn't deal with that. And so they didn't want to be confronted with that. But Arlene somehow was able to see the human being there and always showed me that I was loved. And my siblings also showed me that I was loved. And let me tell you, an environment where one doesn't believe he or she is loved is the perfect environment for addiction to prevail. But they made it clear to me that I was loved. And so the journey was difficult with urges and so on for the first couple of years and having cash and so on. But then, like most things, the more you do it, the better you get at it. And so I survived a lot of the things in the early days. I'll tell you, some days in the early days, quite had this man I used to use with, who tells just a matter of time before he go back. Yeah. It had days in the early days where I didn't use just to spite him, just to show him, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but whatever works, we have to work with it because at the end of the day, we need to stay drug-free. And today, I've been drug-free for 34 years, 5 months, and 13 days to date.
Yes.
Yeah, clean and serene.
Yeah. Clean and serene. So, you see, you are embarking on a new endeavor. You are now the Director of Communications for the National Transformation Alliance.
Yeah.
And you are responsible for ensuring the NTA's vision, mission, and policies align strategically with NTA's corporate identity and brand ethos to effectively connect with the NTA's target audience. So tell me what that exactly what that means.
That sounds like another thing, boy. It sounds fancy, eh?
Yeah, boy,
it sounds real fancy. Yeah.
When I read it,
but the thing is, I am a communicator. All of the work that I do involves communicating. As a host, as an MC, as a radio personality, as a TV presenter, I'm involved in communicating. And the fact is, the ideals and goals that are contained within the NTA line up perfectly with my ideals and my own goals and my own desires and so for the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and not in isolation, as a member of the Caribbean community. And so there are so many points of conversion that it's going to be a walk in the park for me to embrace this and to see it through. I have to continue communicating. I have to do more of the formal type stuff, communicating directly with other media houses and so, which I've been doing. And I have to ensure, not only do I need to communicate that the NTA's values are communicated, I have to ensure, I think, that they stay on game. So I'll be a real taskmaster, keeping my eyes on it, because we cannot operate in isolation. We cannot continue in the direction we're going, and we do not have all of the answers. So a big part of the NTA's remit is to bring on board and attract on board people who have a sense of the direction and people who are ready and willing to serve the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago as a member of the Caribbean community. We could never leave out the rest of the region when we look to forge our way forward.
Mr. Fabian. Oh, God.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Hi, this is Diana. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, Diana. Is it the same Diana with the dynamits?
No, I'm sweeter than her.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
They did Diana with the cough drops.
Hello, Diana. Good evening. I'm listening.
I'm a Bajan. I sweeter than shit. But anyway.
Diana, 1 minute. Errol, I want to apologize to the other co-hosts here. We are in the village with the DAT triplets. That's DAT. Diana, who you just said is considered to be the storm. I am Anselm or Wall Street. And T is for Tommy. Tommy is a commissioner here in Newark, New Jersey. And we are live on 95.9 FM here in New Jersey. I just wanted to say that. So go ahead, Diana.
Well, good evening, Diana and Tommy.
Good. So, Mr. Fabian, they gave me that nickname, The Storm, because I would blow at issues that affecting the women and the children and the poor people. Along with that, I'm also an award-winning poet, author, motivational speaker. I have taken my mess and made it a message, kind of like you. My mess is that I was severely abused as a child, and I could have gone to addictions, but I said not. Right? But I'm so glad to see someone like you, wanting to serve. And has that background, because we can't bury our heads in the sand and say that does not exist. It does exist there still. So, and you're a likable chap. You're funny. You know how to communicate with people. And part of motivational speaking, sometimes you have to inject humor in there to get people's attention to your message. So I'm glad you're making your mess a message. That's what I have to say for now.
So Errol, let me ask you a question there, right? You are now the communications director for the NTA, right? You are also an entertainer as a comedian in Trinidad and Tobago.
Correct.
You think there's only going to be any blowback from you being a comedian and certain people in Trinidad and Tobago employing you to come and, come on?
I think there will be blowback, but it will be from quarters where the sense of what a comedian is not completely understood. Comedians are about the most serious bunch of people in the world. We view the world and we view life and we view issues in a completely different way. We're able to disarm and dismantle things and have a funny perspective, but we can only arrive at a funny perspective if we understand what is ahead of us, what is in front of us. So a comedian is not a joker. No, they are jokers too, but a comedian is not by any means a joker. And I think my quick wit and my sense and my perspective of world issues and of course regional and local issues is only going to augur in my best interest and in the best interest of the party I'm working along with as I go ahead to try and execute what has been asked of me.
Now, you previously went up as an independent, right?
3 times. 3 times.
3 times?
Correct.
What was that experience like?
Boy, it was the most difficult, easiest, strangest, most familiar. It was in every way ironical and not paradoxical and not. It was so difficult for me to walk my constituency because everybody want to come inside, they want to eat, they want to all talk. So usually, I think the average politician walking his constituency might be able to do 10 streets in an hour. I could barely get 10 homes done in an hour because everybody want to come inside. I had to take picture, I had to kiss mommy, not only children, I had to kiss mommy, daddy, everybody, And it told me so much about how loved I am. But in there, people kept saying to me, Errol, what can you do on your own? Uncle Errol, join a party now. For 3 years, I've been told by my constituents, Uncle Errol, join a party. And it will be foolhardy of me to tell people I'm ready to serve them and not demonstrate that I'm ready to listen to them. So here I am, joining a party, and I think this party is the right fit for me.
So, Errol, there was only one party in the running?
For me?
Yeah.
No, I was looking at all the parties. But I will tell you, what was the deal breaker for me? I had a 2-hour-long interview with Gary Griffith, and I asked all the hard questions. And the perspective that he shared, plus he has a history of being a leader. And successfully, from where I could see, Gary was by no means my favorite commissioner of police. I always felt the commissioner should come from the ranks of the police service. I was very offended. But his actions spoke volumes. He had a thing he said earlier about 1 shot, 1 kill. The country, including Errol, was mortified by it. But as I spoke with him, not only on that interview, but occasions before, I understood where he was coming from. And Gary's not afraid to break eggs to get the omelette made. And I still have my eyes on him. I still have my eyes on him because I'm an independent to the marrow in my bone, you know. So this was a real big step for me. And there are other parties out there who, well, I can't join all, but I hope to be able to join the parties together. And that is part of what I think I can bring to the NTA, because a single entity out there, it's much more difficult. I think we need to look at some of the like-minded groupings of people out there and embrace them, bring them on board, come together to make us more successful as a nation. And success for me is not by any means getting rid of the PNM. If my sights are set there, they're set much too low. Are those dogs disturbing you?
No, man, good man.
Okay. Yeah, if our sights are set at removing the PNM, then this are set much too low, and I'll have to excuse myself from this, because that cannot and must not be what we want to do. What we want to do is a much greater call than just removing a party.
You know, it's interesting, right, Errol, in that we was just having a discussion here because people support different parties, right? And I have told people, well, we have told people that we at WZYE 95.9 FM, we're going to allow anybody from any party to come on this platform. We are not anti-PNM, anti-UNC, or pro-UNC, or pro-PNM, in that if we are pro-PNM, we only gain PNM people to come in. If we pro-UNC, we only gain UNC people to come in. If we pro-NTA, we only gain NTA. We want people to hear the ideas from the different parties so they can make an informed decision. You know, I mean, in Trinidad it's a little different with these radio stations, but they have to run it as they see fit. You know, so the thing we have had the political leader here of the NTA, I think, on 3 different occasions, and one of the things, Errol, that I think it is something that you guys gonna have to face. What happens if Gary becomes commissioner of police again?
Well, guys, we are the National Transformation Alliance. We're a party. It's not the Gary Gifford show. If Gary becomes the commissioner of police, he becomes the commissioner of police. The work of the NTA continues. And we have deputy political leaders. There will be internal elections scheduled. And when if it moves, the deputy political leader will take his place. And when an internal election comes, whoever puts themselves up can be elected, and the show continues. Our efforts and our directions are not at all mired to Gary Griffith. Gary has had the foresight to start the party, and we commend him. He has a lot of leadership qualities and a lot of thoughts and ideas and directions he'd like to see the country go in, but it's not a one-man show, far from it. And so the concern, though I receive it, it's not a concern in-house.
Now, who's the deputy political leaders of the NTA? Do they have any deputy leaders currently?
Yes, Nikolai Edwards is a young man who had his own party, the Progressives, and he's a deputy leader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we I think we had him here. Diana, do you remember if we had him interviewed with him?
Nicole, I'm not sure if I may have been absent. I don't recall.
Yeah. Anyone else?
We attempted to interview him before, but he didn't come into the village.
Oh, okay.
But,
okay.
Mr. Fabian, I appreciate your effort, and I was earlier talking about the fact that we seem to have a lot of anger in our society today, especially as it relates to what happened in Grenada recently with that harbor master crew that Trinidadian crew was managing, and they abused a Grenadian in the worst way. Yeah. I'm wondering if your party or you have any ideas as to how we're gonna resolve that anger that's taking place in our society today.
Well, firstly, it was not just a Grenadian citizen, and I'm not saying that people are greater than each other, but that man is a gold medal holder for the Grenadian people, which means he's a Caribbean champion. Yeah, you understand? Right. When any island is in the running for a medal in the Olympics or any games, the whole Caribbean is behind them. So it's a Caribbean hero that met with that fate. And violence never has, ever, and not now and never will solve anything. I suspect that a lot of alcohol was present there. In addition to the anger that we are seeing all around us, alcohol was also present. And those two don't mix good at all, at all, at all.
But
my personal... Pardon?
You would want to think those who are charged with managing that environment would be a little bit more sober or level-headed than the patrons.
One would think. So this was a more than unfortunate situation that has happened. However, the question is, how do we intend to treat with things like this? Well, with respect to the legal aspect, people who break the law need to face the consequences swiftly and immediately. You know, it has to be swift, it has to be just. Justice has to be served. But I think that the general mood of the country needs some lightening. It needs some lifting. COVID didn't help at all. The murder rate is off the charts in Trinidad and Tobago. And we need, that's why I would love to see Gary be appointed as the Commissioner of Police, because he has had great success with respect to dealing with the crime rate before, and I think he can do it again. And people want that confidence. People want to feel safe. People want to feel that if something happens, somebody will act, that it would not just be left alone. People need to know and need to feel that perpetrators will be brought to order. Mm-hmm. And that's the first step. But the anger, I think, and I'm throwing stones, but I'm not pelting big stones to knock nobody out. I'm just saying it as it is. There's a lot of violence in our parliament. There's a lot of violence in our politics. And that violence is what we are seeing throughout our nation, on every level, down to the school children. I mean, a boycott is a violent act. And we have people boycotting things in this country on a political level. People in our parliament telling the others, come outside and tell me that. What is that? The tone has been set for violence. The tone has been set for disagreement. It seems as though that campaigning never ends in this country. And we need a rest. We need a rest from all the anger, all the bad talking, all the filth talking. We need a rest. We need to just be Caribbean people for a little bit. We need to know that our children are safe, they could walk the road, and we need to know that people who are leading us are not only leading their own clan, but are leading all of us. And I think that is a place we need to be in for us to see a change in behavior and attitudes here in our country.
You know, it's interesting that you say that, right? Go ahead, Tommy.
Anyway, I appreciate your response. And I always like to remember what you told me the last time you and I were in company. You said to me, never hitch your start to a political wagon. I think that should remind you of who I am.
Yes, I know exactly who you are, Tommy.
you know, Errol, as we see in Trinidad, right? We see both leaders, you know, more doing things from a party perspective. We see Mrs. Kamala Prasad tell Vasan Bharat, you know, if you care about, you're supposed to party before country. You know, if you care about country, go to hell, right? And we see on the other side of the political spectrum, you know, we see the political leader of the PNM and the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago calling people imps and chimps. You know, it just seems to me that, you know, I always say that a fish doesn't rot from the tail. And when you're the Prime Minister of a country, you have to lead by example. You have to be an exemplar for the people of the country. You know, and it doesn't seem like if we are getting that from the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. You know, and let me say this to you, Errol.
Yeah.
I'm a supporter of the PNM.
But what I want to say to you is that I cannot have $10 in the bank and withdraw 20.
Correct.
people can only give what they have. And I don't think Mr. Rowley wakes up on a morning and think, how can I persecute the people of Trinidad and Tobago? I think he wakes up wanting to do the best that he can. And I think he probably does the best that he can. But somewhere along the way, I feel as though the leaders of that party have not found creative ways to evolve. I feel as though, you know what I feel it's like? And forgive the analogy, guys. I have some music on a cassette. I love that music, but I don't play cassette again. You know, it is a different time, and my cassette served me well and faithfully in that time. But I think our political needs have evolved. I think the direction, the future, the things that need to be put in place today, because we're not trying to run the country for today. It has to be about 30 and 40 years forward. But I feel as though we need new political energy in there to forge that way forward. I feel as though the playbook that the UNC and the PNM use, though they may have served us at some point in time, that time has elapsed. And I feel as though the electorate needs also to recognize this. And there's legacy value. There's legacy value. I don't think these people should be thrown away by any measure. But I don't think there's as their roles will be principal players if we are to move the country in the direction we'd like to see it going.
No, Errol, I don't know if you would face this, but we have had Gary Griffith, the political leader of the NTA, in the village on 3 occasions. And there comes a point in time when tough questions are being asked, and Mr. Griffith gets very belligerent. And he has been very belligerent to me personally, but I didn't get back belligerent with him because I respect him as a guest. You see, and you see, you are the NTA and you are back in the village, so we don't have. Yeah, we don't hold personal grudges against anyone and any party or anything like that. We have differences, but from an outsider looking in, I will think that that's one of the things that Mr. Griffith can have a little assistance with, in that when a person puts facts on the table, it's not that they're trying to belittle you or demean your value or anything like that. You know, they're just trying to have a discussion to get from you what you think about that. You know, and since you are the person in communications, right? I think that's an important message you can give to Mr. Griffith, in that, you know, when these type of thing comes up, maybe you need to take a deep breath and not go after the person because the person is going after him.
It sounds like his military training there, but I understand what you're saying. Sometimes we need to stand down and listen before we respond.
Correct is right.
I don't want him already. I will take a copier broom to him, eh? Okay.
You might need something with a little more weight than that.
You know, but Fabian, and that is the thing, you know, we can talk about this because, Errol, you know, your demeanor is a calming, soothing demeanor. That is you. You know, that is your makeup. You know, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen you. Well, you know, I mean, from all I've seen you.
Listen, I have a viewer that's called me Never Vex, you know.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you know, even when you come here to do the sunshine, you used to come and do the sunshine and MC the Sunshine Awards, you know, and you and Nikki Crosby, and I go up there, I'll be like, man, like Errol, like you don't get vexed at all, but like the plane delay, he didn't get vexed. He get on the plane, they ain't give him no roti. You know, they gave him a single instead of a doubles.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a cha no na.
Yeah, you get cha no na. You see, but I think Errol, you know, with your demeanor, that can help, you know, be an asset to the National Transformation Alliance. I really, really believe so. You know, because, you know, your heart is in the right place. You know,
Well, I pray. I pray that I can. I pray that I can, but more than to the National Transformation Alliance. I pray that my demeanor and whatever I have going for me can be brought to bear and redound to the benefit of the people of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean. That is my ultimate wish, you know. And maybe, you know, I wasn't always like this, you know. I can tell you that where life had me walk through has had an effect on me. You know, I know what it is to have nothing, not just nothing to eat. I know what it is like to have nothing.
Yeah,
So if it is that they have bread and no butter, I'm all right. If it have juice and no ice, I'm all right, because I appreciate whatever I have. I am happy and grateful with whatever I have.
Now, here's a question from the chat, right? Someone says, Errol, based on sustainable growth and development, can you give me at least 5 suggestions can help citizens socially?
Absolutely. I think we have to look definitely, forgive me, a call was coming in, yeah, at boosting our agricultural sector, definitely, not with a view to even export, although that is a possibility. We have to boost, or we must get a place where we're producing more food here, all right? And that part of what that is that we need to reduce our food import bill. We have to take a serious look. Mr. Robinson had quite a task on his hands in 86 and moving forward with that, because there's no new money. We need new money. We can't tax ourselves out of this situation as like lifting a bucket while standing in it. We need to find new money, and that will only come from exports. And the state is not the state's responsibility to find what that is. It is the state's responsibility to create the environment for private people to do it. And if we decide as a state we're going to, let's say we decide we're going to become the recycling center of the region, I'm just saying, okay, then we have to lead that. We need to drive that through the community. We have to enable that to happen. We have to say to Mayaro, you making plastic, you making plastic garden tools. Labre, you making plastic furniture for children's playgrounds. San Fernando, you making whatever it is, and put the things in the area and make business easy to do. It's too difficult to do business in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. We need to create an environment where it's easy for business to be done. And that is the direction that I'm seeing and saying, and that I'm hearing among the party, that we need to move in to create an ease. We need to declutter our country. Everything happens in Port of Spain. And I'm hearing talk and loving what I'm hearing, because that's the direction I would like to see things moving, where things start happening in other parts of the country, and where those parts of the country have the responsibility and charged with making things happen themselves. You know, the time of that leader who will fix everything is long gone. It's long gone. There's no leader coming to fix everything. Gary can't come and fix everything. The people have better ideas than most of us with respect to how to fix things in their lives. And it's time that the people get a chance to voice it, and not just old talk, not just platitudes. When they voice it, that there's some follow through, and that the people get a chance to start deciding what the environment looks like and feels like, and look to have a serious part in charting the direction forward for us all. It's time that when PNM in office, that currently people feel they're not represented. And if UNC in office, Lavantil feel they're not represented. Everybody must feel represented and part of the national conversation with whatever administration is in office. So those are the things in response to that question from your viewer, for your listener, that have to be dealt with first and foremost.
So the person had a follow-up question, but I think you also answered that question. And you know, Errol, these are the type of things that, you know, we like to hear, you know, from people when they come into the village, because, you know, we kind of keep hearing the same thing over and over from the PNM and the UNC, you know, and nothing really changing. Sometimes we change and we just get exchange, you know, and at the end of the day, I tell people, even though I support a party, if the party is not doing things to the country, I go get them constructive criticism. If they don't like it, that's up to them. You know,
Thank you.
Because if I am part of your party, if I'm sitting at the table with you, and I see you going wrong, as I said earlier, I was talking about my kids. If I see my kids going wrong, right, I am going to call them in and tell them, listen, you know, these are things you can do to make it better. You know, I'm not trying to criticize you and to make you look bad, because anytime you decide that you are in a party in Trinidad and Tobago and you decide to give them constructive criticism, for example, if you're a PNM and you give them constructive criticism, you're a UNC now.
That's right.
If you're a UNC and you give them any constructive criticism, you're a PNM now. And that's how we go. And the country.
And you must agree. You must agree. You must agree. If you're a PNM and the party do this, you have to agree with it. You're not supposed to disagree. You're not supposed to have free thought.
No. You can't have no free thoughts. I tell you what to think. And when I say to them, I am a critical thinker. Like, for example, right? When the pandemic was on, we started something with exile and stranded citizens, because there was a lot of citizens in this country facing hardship. Right. And we were trying to tell the government in Trinidad and Tobago, these people are facing hardship. We can help you. Help these people. You know what they told us? They say we are rabble rousers. Country, or they want to make the party look bad, or they just want to make the PNM look bad. And we keep spinning up in mud with the same thing over and over and over.
We had citizens in Suriname, we had citizens in Barbados, different places. And you know what hurts me? These people own aircraft. These citizens own aircraft. They own water taxis. They own vessels that could have come for them.
Yep.
The Caribbean airline aircraft don't belong to the government of the day. It belongs to the people. So these people who stranded have shares in multiple aircrafts, in multiple sea crafts, any of which could have come and gotten them. And they stranded. I don't get it.
Errol, I have some input here. I follow the chat, and persons in the chat are implying that you are a comedian, and how can we take you seriously? Now, good. So let me explain to some of them, why a comedian will make a very good politician. Comedians score highly on social responsibility, indicating that they desire fair outcomes and they have a general concern for others. They also tend to be high on the measurement of agreeableness. All right? And they are sensitive to the needs and they value and harmony in a group. Once again, let me break it down for you. Components of the personality of the average comedian, which you are not: social responsibility, agreeableness, consciousness, extroversion, openness. These are the things we need in somebody in Trinidad and Tobago now. Go ahead, sir.
But wait, isn't the president of Ukraine was a comedian?
Yeah, also.
He was an actor, yes.
He was an actor.
An actor. So I don't know what the point they're trying to make.
Listen,
yeah.
No, but I'd like to add something.
Go ahead.
I'd like to add that, yes, I am a comedian, right? But don't think you mustn't take me seriously. Even when I am on stage, go back to YouTube and listen to my comedy, because I have a lot of social coding inside all of the comedy that I do. There's a message in there in every bit of comedy that I do. I take my responsibility very seriously. But looking at me as a comedian alone is doing me a disservice. I'm a recovering drug addict. I've stayed true to my course for 34 years, 5 months, 13 days, and counting. I am dependable, okay? I was a single father for much of my life. My children were teenagers and preteens when I became a single daddy. And I worked diligently and took them all through school, secondary school, through their first degrees and so on. And 3 of them now have completed their masters and so on. I'm not only a comedian, okay? I I'm a handyman also around the house. I fiddle in woodwork, plumbing, electrical, whatever needs to be done around the house, I do it. I take care of animals. I have layers, chickens that because when the pandemic hit, we know what was coming. We got chickens, we have them. I am a whole lot more than a comedian, but the comedian is what paid my bills for so long.
Thank you very much. I know you understand, Mr. Stout, or whoever it is, put in the chat in there about him.
But it's a very valid concern, and I'm glad that somebody has the cojones to ask it, because a lot of people will think that and they wouldn't ask it. But I welcome the question, and I'm glad for the opportunity to say I am much more than a comedian. I'm also a man of God.
Amen.
You know, it's interesting, right? In that I like running. I'm a running enthusiast, right? I will go out and I will go on the track, run 5, 6, 7, 8 miles. I like running. So they could they could say, well, you should just stay with running, you know. Right?
Use that runner. What you could do?
Use that runner. You go come, boy, go and run wrong the savannah, boy, wrong use that runner, you know, and there was so listen, when I listen to Christian comedy, it makes so much sense what the guy's talking about. You know, I mean, I'm like, yeah, boy, that man, that making plenty sense there, boy. So it's sometimes we like to pigeonhole people.
Yeah.
You know,
in that piece, you played a piece before I came on when I was live in St. Croix, you know, and the piece was about how we bring up our children, because children learn what they live.
Right,
and that's what the piece was centered around. But a lot of time it's only when you go home that might occur to you. In the moment, the comedy and the money for the car and the phone, he could have called himself, and it's funny. But children do learn what they live, and as adults, we need to be very cognizant of that. You know, they don't do as they are told. They do what they are conditioned to do because they learn what they live.
You know, it's interesting that you say that, right? Now, in my household, I'm the runner. I always run, and I running all about the place, running this, running that. I never told my son, my daughter, or my wife that they have to go and jog or anything too. They just see me jogging all the time. You know, all three of them just go and walk and jog and everything, and I've never told them to go and do anything that they see me doing, right? And it's so accurate when you say that, you know, because sometimes they say if you want to be the change, you want someone to change yourself.
That's right. Be the change.
Be the change. Some people always think that, oh, I got to change this person. I got to change this person. And once you change yourself, right, then another individual can change. But let me read something here for you in the thing, Errol.
Yeah, sure.
Somebody says, Wall Street, do you realize that 97% of the country asking for Gigi to come back? Even PNM people want him back. Walls, they make good partner, Errol. A good partner. He has come at Walls. He said, Walls, it's just you and a few, very few, don't want back Gigi. you see? Now, Errol, think about this, right? I cannot ignore that comment, right? I just keep it going, right? Because you're talking about you, right? But let me say this. When I look at the country, I am looking at the country,
right?
And when Gary Griffith was the commissioner of police, we had our differences. Right?
Right.
But I could see a difference in the country when Gary Griffith was commissioner of police.
Yep.
Even Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles could see that.
Everybody could have seen that. Yeah.
Everybody could have seen that.
Wait, partner. Yeah. I am the only comedian here. Go ahead. Right.
Okay. Sorry. I tried to steal your thunder. Right.
I do appreciate it, but carry on. I ain't gonna hang up and go. Carry on.
All right. From the number 1 comedian to the number 10 comedian.
I thought you were going to say number 2, but all right, go ahead.
Number 10, boy. Right? And Errol, I want to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
If I am for country, and I am looking at the current commissioner of police and the atmosphere in the country and the atmosphere when Gary Griffith was there, in spite of him having the second and third highest crimes in the country, I think Gary Griffith did a better job and people felt more safe in the country. And I think if he's back as commissioner of police, I think people will feel better in spite of all his shortcomings.
Yeah.
Right? I think for the country's sake, and for people to feel a sense of relief, you know, if you had to compare him with McDonald Jacob, right? He had a good, and I will say this, the perception under Gary Griffith that the country was much safer.
It is. That was not only that wasn't only the perception. Things were going down. Crime rates were falling. And it was the funniest thing on social media, because you know it have some people jump on social media and wave the gun and say, Gary, so and so. And all we used to say is, wait, hold on, because you know the next day you're seeing them apologizing, giving up whatever it is. It was so funny that you saw immediate response and you saw results. And that is what we need to see as a people to feel better about going out there and going to a show and parking my car in my yard and that kind of thing, because you see people being held and prosecuted. And I'm afraid we're not seeing that. People being shot in Port of Spain in broad daylight and walking away, not even running away, walking away.
Yeah, I just, and I am looking at it from a country perspective. I am not looking at it whether I like or dislike Gary Griffith. I have nothing to do with it. At the end of the day, you know, the people of the country come first, right? And in order for the country to get back to where it was when he was there, you know, people will take that. People will take that. And I believe that some of the things that he did then, he's gonna do differently now. I mean, I'm putting, you know, I'm saying that, but I just
he is refining. He is refining.
Yeah, I think, you know, when guys like me continue to be given constructive criticism, you know,
I mean, we closed down Petrostrin, but we still have a refinery going on here. We can still do some refining. You get rid of Caroni, but we can still do some refining. We can still do some refining here.
Yeah, we do. We're doing a little refining. No, I don't know how you can answer this question, but I will ask it. Someone says, will you support the retirement age move from 60 to 65?
I think that should be optional. I think the retirement age should stay at 60 with an option for people who want to work to 65. The thing is, to move that, it will have to be done with people who are now starting to work. Because people, let's say me, I'm 60, I'm about to retire. In fact, I'm 61, I'm about to retire. You can't tell me that I have to wait until 65 to get benefits after I entered into a deal 30-something years ago that said when I get to 60, I could retire. So many people in the service who have over 20 years of service, you can't come to tell them now that they have to work 5 more years before they could retire. There has to be an optional, if it has to go that way, it has to be optional for people with over a certain amount of service, and people under a certain amount of service. We'll have to see if it is that economically we have to do it, then it must be done with some consultation and with some flexibility.
You know, I had to say this. You know, when you finish this interview, people ain't gonna think he's a comedian no more.
True. I have to stop now because I want to get to live, you know. I have to talk shit to live, you know.
Oh, you gain good answers, boy. You gain answers that make sense. Well,
I read it from a book here. I read it from a book.
Gary gave that book. Gary gave the book.
Yeah, Gary gave my book. Gary gave my book to read from.
No, Errol. Tommy
yes. Here. Yeah, Tommy.
I'm of the opinion that the media has a responsibility in every nation, especially in Trinidad and Tobago. And there's a lack of development, or there's a need for development of the citizenry that the media can assist in doing. Because when we look at post-regular school, most people get just about all their information from media, one form or another, whether it's broadcast or otherwise. And in my humble opinion, I think the media in Trinidad and Tobago has dropped the ball when it comes to getting the people's head in the right direction for nation building. What is your opinion? What say you?
I say, I agree with what you're saying, but we have to look at what has happened, I believe. You know, Black Stallion have a song, Sufferers Don't Care About Race.
Oh, I love that song, boy. I love that
Sufferers
song.
don't care about color.
Yeah.
Sufferers only want you to tell them where the next food coming from.
Correct.
And I'm afraid that is where our media has ended up. And that they're looking for the food. They have their big plans, and I understand that it's business, but they've compromised, I think, a lot in some cases,
Correct.
integrity and purpose to make sure that they could eat their food. That said, I think too that leadership is responsible at the end of the day, not just leadership in the media houses, but the country's leadership. If the country's leadership understands the role of the media, then they won't make them sell out. They would respect them. They would equally share whatever advertising dollar it is. If you have 10 media houses, you share it among them. Even if you want to look at numbers, who looking at PMO or whatever it is, but you can't hold back the government spend if you don't like what the media is saying about you. That's puerile. You need some maturity in the state and some policy. So that even if you end up with an ignoramus in an office, the policy says that the media spend from the state has to be shared at least between X amount of media houses. Then you won't end up in a position where media is afraid to say X, Y, or Z, or towing the line because they want to eat the lion's share of the pie. You understand? So the blame falls equally in different places, and probably not even equally. But coming back to the role and the media's role in development and pointing direction, because we need to be pointed. Trinidadians work. We're working. We down here cutting bush going, but nobody at the top of the tree is saying, this way, we're going to the left, we're going to the right. Everybody cutting grass, going in different direction. We're not progressing. We work hard here. Trinidadians work hard. I don't care what nobody say. All right? But that is where we need the leadership in the media houses also now, for them to keep their course and understand. Like, I run a media house. My remit is local content. Now, you could come to me with how much money to bring on foreign programming. I'm not doing that. My remit is Gaia the Caribbean is a Caribbean content, non-fiction, health and wellness station. Fit inside there if you want to get on air by Gaia. I'm not like, so I would not carry alcohol advertising. No matter how much I'm losing or no matter how much I stand to gain, I will not carry it because it's not my remit. I carry some of the government's content when they send stuff for us to carry, but I try to look at it. And if it's something that doesn't fit our policy, then I won't carry it. You know, whatever consequence comes with sticking to my guns, those are the consequences I'm prepared to live with. And as such, we enjoy approximately zero advertising. But at the same time, people come to us when they want to find Caribbean content that's non-fictional and talks to their health and wellness on the broadest sense of it. So yeah, I agree with the statement, and I would love to see the media playing a bigger role in leading development and challenging the status quo.
You know, Errol, it's interesting that you say that, right? I was saying something today. I was saying that, so we have this radio station here in New Jersey in the Diaspora, right? And prior to Dr. Rowley becoming the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, we used to have him here in the Diaspora. We used to take him around the place and climb all different places and things. And he said, oh, I want the Diaspora to be part of it, right? Now we have a station here and we have programming dedicated to Trinidad and Tobago and a party that I support in power now. And the government have never even put 1/8 of a PSA, just a PSA, a public service announcement. 1/8, not the whole thing.
Yeah, not the whole one.
Not a whole one. Just 1/8 of it. Cut it out. Like if it's 3 minutes, cut it out and make it 1/8 of 3 minutes. Not even that. Right? And you are so correct. You are so correct. What about the Diaspora? What about us?
The diaspora is like a pillar of the Caribbean society. More Caribbean people, it is said, live outside of the Caribbean than within the Caribbean. And I know, I'm not guessing this, I know our brothers and sisters in the diaspora want to contribute. I know our brothers and sisters in the diaspora want to be a part of. I know our brothers and sisters in diaspora are there because they want better than they could have gotten for their lives in the Caribbean. I understand these things. And we have to embrace the diaspora. Why you can't vote where you live in? As a national of Trinidad and Tobago, why you can't vote where you live in? Why you have to
talk your talk? Yeah.
Why you have to jump through hoops to get a passport? I don't understand that.
And an ID card, and you're born there. Talk, Mr. Baby.
I don't understand it. Why you have to jump through hoops with fire to get your ID card and your passport and these kind of things?
The Israelis come and line up by a wall and they get their ID card faster than you are born to me. Yeah.
You move along. You're very moving along.
Yeah, she move along. I see no.
Yeah, but I agree. Yeah. I agree. We have not. We treat the diaspora as though the diasporas turn their back on the region, and that is not the truth. Correct. The diaspora are seeking better for themselves and their children and have a great desire to contribute to their home. And we have to find a way to make it happen. It has to be a two-way thing. We have to be able to send programming and so on to you. If you're running at a station and you need programming, we have programming. We want to talk to the people. I feel it's only the people in the region we want to talk to. We want to talk to the people of the region wherever they are. And if you have a Caribbean audience in Jersey, we need to be talking to them. If you have a Caribbean audience in Timbuktu, we need to be talking to them because we need to know what is happening with ourselves in our region at all times.
In our birthland. Talk.
That's right. That's right.
I feel I would vote for you now. You'll have my ID card, I'll vote.
You. Listen, you sound like the rest of them now, you know. You sound like the rest of them. But
why you picking on me? Don't let me call all the bulldogs here. All right.
But Errol,
yes.
Someone says, Errol, do you support giving people what is owed to them, like currently private farmers back pay?
Of course, I support giving people what is owed to them, but I also support making things efficient in our country. I'm completely against us not having a sugar mill at this time. I'm completely against us not having a refinery. These things didn't need to be closed down, in my humble opinion. They needed to have been made efficient. I have a real problem with shutting down things that serve us well. And now we are at the behest of people who want to do whatever they want with the sugar price. And we had to ban rebellion and pay it. And we had to, guys, nearly everybody come here because of plantation economy. We come here because of sugar, and you could close that down. And when we move away from the plantation over 100 years ago, the first commercial oil well in the world was drilled on the island of Trinidad in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, and we closed down the refinery. Ghana do have a refinery, and they have so much product to be refined. And the Americans gonna come in, not knocking you guys. The Americans will come in and make a move to refine all of that, and that's a Caribbean partner. And they have a Caribbean partner here who has the capacity. And our refinery sitting down there. I'm saddened. It's a sad day. But yes, I don't want to move away from the question. Yes, I'm in support of people getting what is due to them.
Thank you. So, Errol, stay with us a little bit, right? We got to go for a quick station identification.
I understand
that. Triplet on WZYE 95.9 FM. We have with us the new communication director of the NTA, the National Transformation Alliance, no other than Mr. Errol Fabien. Stick and stay. It's in the village with the Dat triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We'll be right back after the show.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
Now, Errol, here is another question, right?
Yes.
Someone says, hold on, let me get that question here.
Answer. Ellis says what? No ID card for me to give my puppy an ID card. I am going to tell Mrs. Laborde to take away your laptop permanently. Oh, you keep it up.
You go, Diana has a dog named Stormy. They'll get Stormy an ID card to put you. Ellis, that's a good one. That's a real good one. Ellis only getting committee because Errol is inside the house. So Errol,
Was Tommy born in Trinidad? Was Tommy born in Trinidad? If he wasn't born in Trinidad, he can't get the ID card, eh?
No.
I'm a Trinidad butt paper, not birth paper, butt paper.
Diana is
I'm
correct.
born in Fangé.
He's correct. Diana is correct. Stormy can't get no ID card either because he wasn't born in Trinidad.
If the dog ain't born in Trinidad, he can't get ID card. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Diana.
Yes,
No, cancel Christmas, Diana. It's over for you and Stormy. No.
Yeah. We have a comedian in the village when he says Cain killed Abel and Rahel killed Cain.
Oh, God.
But it's unfair to say Israel, but he played his part in it. What happened is that the European Union, who was the main procurer, buyer of our sugar, we exported most of our sugar to them, found that they could have gotten sugar at 7 cents a pound, while in Trinidad we were producing it at 11 cents a pound. So they decided they're going to pay off Trinidad because the contracts and so on were, of course, for futures, and they pay them off to stop producing. But how the European Union could pay me off to stop producing sugar when my sugar industry employs so many people? You could tell me, you could pay me off to stop sending sugar for you. I don't have a problem with that. But I was supposed to now make my sugar production efficient and see if what other things I could have done with the byproducts from the sugar cane or with the lands that were under cultivation, because maybe I needed to put less land under cultivation. There was so much more consideration to have gone into the move. But the Europeans say, stop. And they're paying off the farmers and they're giving so much. And so we run along with that. I have a problem with that.
Uncle Errol, like a teaching class tonight, boy.
Huh? I have a real problem with that. Yeah.
Yeah, so here's the next question. Based on equitable distribution in TNT, do you think we are suffering with geographical discrimination with a section of society, and what is your solution?
I want that person to come clean and ask me exactly what they're trying to ask.
Hey, I thought you were just a comedian.
No. Because you see, I think it's something that needs to be addressed, but we have time for us to stop skirting around things. Come clean. What it is you want to know about? What are you asking me? Ask me it directly.
Ask the direct question that you want to ask Errol Fabien.
Yeah.
No, you see, and I just, how they put it, is how I ask it.
Exactly, but you hear what I said. Yeah. What did I ask? What is that question? Come on, come clean.
That's why I laugh, I said, but you pick it up, man. I said, yeah, that was a good one, Errol. That was a good. Hey, Ron, ask the question the way you want to ask the question, please.
Yeah, man. So what geographic discrimination are you talking about? That is, come clean, talk to me.
Yeah, when you're in the village, you just keep it real.
Yeah.
People know that.
He says to convince you that he's the best you are the best representative to get his vote.
Wow. Somebody tell you I'm running again or what?
But wait a minute. How do you mean the best representative? I mean, all we know the man is the communication director right now. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and Errol, you would have to know what constituency he is from in order for him to vote for you in his constituency, right?
You know what I mean? I got to go by here and run.
Hey, Ron, come cleaner, man. Oh, God, man.
Run. Come with it. Don't afraid to ask what you want to know.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask the question, Mr. Fabian. He just posted it. The question is, do you think that the Indians in Trinidad and Tobago are marginalized, and what is your solution?
I don't think the Indians in Trinidad and Tobago are marginalized. I think that the Indians in Trinidad and Tobago feel that they are not represented when there's a PNM government in office. And so I don't think that they're marginalized at all. I think that what we need, and I mentioned it earlier on, is to have administration in the country where everybody is represented. There's no reason why issues in Caroni cannot be dealt with in Caroni and somebody had to come in Port of Spain to deal with that. What is that? That don't make no sense to me at all, at all, at all. And there's a lot of conversation around the NTA about finding a new governance structure. Because right now, we are using that concocted Westminster system that was used to keep us as colonial servants and underdogs. Now to find out freedom, we're using the same thing. That it can't make no sense. It can't make no sense.
And Mr. Fabian, when he locked the doors and closed out the citizens and people losing their homes and their jobs, they can't get back to, people having health crises, they went and they invoked a 1940 slave law that was probably given to them by the same colonial masters to keep the citizens of the country.
And to add insult to injury, Trinidad and Tobago is the home of the Caribbean Court of Justice, but we still run to the Privy Council, you know. And Kamla Prasad Bisesta said that it have no Indian justice, and that's why no Indian justice sitting on the Caribbean Court. What utter crap is that? Law have anything to do with African and Indian? How law have anything to do with African and Indian? So Jamaica uses the Trinidad and Tobago the Caribbean Court of Justice. Barbados, Grenada, Guyana, the Commonwealth of Dominica, all of these people use the Caribbean Court of Justice. But it's housed here in Trinidad, but we run to the Privy Council. We need to get our act together. We really do.
Do they still wear those white wigs in the court?
No, not in the Caribbean Court of Justice.
Yeah. So what are wearing these white wigs for? And I learned because I morphed into this poet, but I always had this critical mind of thinking. I remember going back to in high school, I challenged a history teacher. I said, but Rev, in high school, you mean to say nobody that look like me ain't do nothing good in history? I never learned that black people invent nothing while I was going to school in Trinidad and Tobago. I never learned it till I came abroad, and then you read more, and I'm like, but wait a minute now. The toilet was invented, the air conditioner, there's something to do with street light.
Washing machine, escalator, traffic light, you name it.
Yeah, they didn't tell us none of this. All they tell me is that, they snatched them, the triangular slave trade. So you see the brainwash education to make us a fool, right? And when I stepped out of it, and I said, but Rev, you tell me that nobody like me ain't do nothing good in history? That all I come from is slavery? Well, he make me walk around the quadrangle holding a dustbin up behind me.
But that is the sad reality, that to this day, children in our school system have still been taught that Columbus discovered Trinidad and there were Caribs and Arawaks here. And that is better. Don't teach history than it teach you wrong thing. You can't do that. You can't with conscience continue that, man.
So Errol, what if you had to say, what are the top 3 things that's different that's the NTA is going to bring for the people of Trinidad and Tobago? Because, we already know what we're getting from, the PNM and the UNC. What are 3 things the NTA is going to bring differently to the people of Trinidad and Tobago?
I think a sense of equity, 1, a sense of inclusion, 2, and a sense of order and leadership, 3. I think those 3 things are the most vital things we need right now.
We use a real communication director in Chudney, Mr. B.
But you asked me a straight question. You must have been to ask me the question.
Oh, God.
Oh God!
I'm going to be the match tonight. I take that back too. Take it on, Mr. Fabian. Take it on.
Oh God! You know,
It's a
no, but Errol, you know, we need more of these kind of discussions, and
We do.
I want to say to you, Errol, I
Yeah.
think you have to be out there more for your party as communication director and telling the people this type of information. It needs to be heard, and don't let it be a one-man shop.
No. That's not going to be the case. I need to be out there more, and I will be out there more. It's pretty much what I'll have to call a soft launch going on now, introducing members of the national governance team. But we have to remember too, we need to be wise with respect to using the resources of the party. But more than that, you are on point. People need to hear this. People need to challenge it. People need to break it apart, dismantle it, and challenge it in a serious way. And let's see, because within the NTA, we probably still need, not probably, we always need to be dismantling and looking at our direction, looking at this thing we call it equity, inclusion. You know, what are these things? How are they going to work? Those are nice words, but what is the action that brings it about? And that's what we need to be dealing with now.
Yeah, because I think Errol, like we haven't heard you previously. We know of you, but we haven't heard you. And by this discussion tonight, we can see that you are very informed, very, very, very informed. You know, you are way more than a comedian, way more than a comedian.
But don't you always say in the circus, who's the smartest person? All right, good.
Yeah. Of course. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and we do appreciate. And Errol, we also like to have other people from the NTA on a platform in order to have discussions, because we want the people in the diaspora to hear, you know, the different ideas from different people.
That's
You know,
I
right.
hear that.
because that's what it's about. It's about hearing different ideas, you know, and send a message to your leader from it. Tell him when he come back. When we ask him hard question, like when we ask you hard question, you know.
You have to relax the ticky leaks a little bit.
Yeah.
And deal with it. Yeah.
A little bit, take a deep breath and do like Uncle Errol. Let the dog bark a little bit. You know what I mean?
Move from the dog back.
Yeah, move from the dog back in. Move from the dog back in.
Yeah.
So, Errol, when is there going to be an official launch? When is the official, you know, with a meeting and, you know, talking to the people of the country? When is that supposed to happen?
I do not have an exact date, but local government election may very much be upon us right now. So I think it's imminent. And as soon as it happens, you know, I'll be there communicating it. And more than that, I'll be available, of course, not only here in this bacchanal melee that you have here, that I happen to love very, very much, because, you know, I like being engaged. I don't like people to think I'm merely a comedian. I am really a comedian, but I'm not merely a comedian. You know, I like the good conversation, and more than that, conversing with people in the diaspora, I think, is a very important thing for all people who want to be representatives of the people here in Trinidad and Tobago, and of course in the wider region. Because the value of what you all bring, you see, you have something that I hate to say, something called first world experience. And it's a very important thing. That world view and that first world experience is very important as we continue to groom ourselves here in the developing world. You know, we see ourselves in Trinidad and Tobago as a developed nation, although we are categorized and put into this place of a developing nation. But I think all nations, when you look at it, are developing. But you see, your first world perspective, ladies and gentlemen of the diaspora, it's very valuable for us to have a sense of it, and for you to take leadership positions in the region so that you can help move us in that direction, because we need to be a lot more mature than we are in dealing with people who have differences of opinions with us.
Errol, that was well said, you know. Well said, because you are so real, you know, about that, because we here have been trying to assist in Trinidad and Tobago, and many people look at us and say, who them think is, you know what else tell me? They say, you see, he leave the country 45 years ago, he run from the country. I say, I run.
You turn your back?
Eh?
You turn your back on we?
Yeah, as an 18-year-old, you run from the country. I say, I run from the country. Well, I go tell my mother, well, ma, I not running from the country, you know. I want to stay in my country at 18 years old. That would just tell me in truth, you know. I run from the country. I run from Chumaka Clavantil. Imagine that. I grew up in Chumaka Clavantil. But I run from Chumaka Clavantil to come to America. You 45 years. Why you don't stay there? Eh? Why you don't stay in some country? And I want to contribute. We want to contribute to the betterment of our country until we stay there.
You guys have a sense of how certain things work that don't work in the region.
Correct.
And we need things to work. And you know how things work. Not everything, we're not taking everything lock, stock, and barrel.
And we want to give away everything either. We don't want to give
everything. There we go.
We want to give the things to make the country better. Right? That is it. We want to give the ideas to make the country better. How the country could get more foreign direct investment. What are some of the ideas on crime? Some of the ideas that these states here are using in order to reduce crime. What are some of the innovative ideas for the country to move forward? I mean, just small, little things. You know what I'm saying? Little things. Little thing. What is that little thing?
Simple things like traffic management. Simple things.
Simple things. You know, but hear this one before you go. I get 2 tickets the other day, right? 2 speeding tickets. I said, but wait now, no police can stop me.
No. Get in the mail.
Yeah. My wife tell me, watch, look, there are 2 speeding tickets on the table. If you ask, speeding tickets. You know, it's a camera. I was in Brooklyn. A camera took a picture of my car and sent it to me and tell me I was doing 50 miles in a 40-mile per limit, 40 miles per hour area. The camera, you know, send me, you know, they send it to me, you know, with my car, you know. Yeah. Right? So
and here the thing, you were doing 50 in a 40 zone, and the ticket came home at 100.
Full 100. Full 100. Right? So as we say, Errol, these are just little, and you know what, but Errol, no, let me take that back, because if all you implement that in China, you know, the people go say, oh God, the government wicked.
They're wicked and bad.
Wicked and bad. Look what they want to
do. But you see, the thing is, if we introduce it as a treasury operation, a way to raise revenue, it will be seen as that and felt as that. Right. But if it is introduced to manipulate or govern behavior and to help keep us safe, and it is communicated and received as that, then it will be embraced. It's not a measure, only too bad, take this in all the tail. No, it is, guys, we are losing too much on the road. So we need to slow down. And we're going to do this as a people, and we're not going to be $1,000 and thing. We're going to put a fee in it, you know. But it is about finding a new behavior. That's what it's about.
No, and the fee don't have to be, don't no big fee, a small fee.
Yeah, no $5,000 and all kind of madness. What's that? That's like treasury. That is wicked and bad.
Right. So little things like that. Listen, it's only $50, right? So, but I go and fight it though. I'm gonna fight it. You know,
you're not gonna win because the vehicle is registered. If it's registered, you obviously go on, and they capture and unless they are unable to read the license plate correctly, and you can't go and tell them it wasn't you driving the car. It's registered
because it doesn't matter.
You're the registered owner. I tried that already. You're the registered owner.
Let me tell you what you have to try. They have to show you that the equipment that took the picture was calibrated recently.
Hey, Errol, you're a boss, you know.
If they drop the ball on calibrating it, they can't charge you at all.
Errol, but you know, use the communication director of the NTA.
You see, I don't like that, you know, Fabian. You're going with the skullduggery thing now.
No, that's not skullduggery. If the equipment hasn't been calibrated, it cannot be depended on to read properly. They have to calibrate it regularly.
Diana, he's 100% correct.
Well, I tried that. I even tried to tell him it wasn't me driving the car, Your Honor. And Miss McDonald's, the car registered to me.
You
Yeah.
went wrong.
Well,
You went
yeah,
wrong.
and it showed me the plate. I said, but that old ass tree looking like an 8. They zoom in on it and the people they think, but I said, okay, all right.
Diana,
Pay your money. Pay your money.
Take that and cool it. Take that. No, but Errol, you are absolutely correct. 100%. And that is what I was going to do. I want to see when last the camera was calibrated. Right?
Yeah.
I want to see. And listen, if they know it in calibrated, you know what happening?
Talk done.
Talk done.
You're going to have to pay them ticket. Trust me. You're not getting away.
Listen
That's how they make it there. And listen now, you leave Jersey with Jersey plates to come and infringe on our traffic laws down in New York. Yeah, they'll
You're from New York, you're from Connecticut. What are your traffic laws?
Okay, but you know what I mean. You know, I from Connecticut. But let me drink water and mind my business. All right.
Yeah. Do that. But Errol, let me say, man.
Yeah.
Let me see any other quick questions here in the chat before you go. Because
Errol.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to follow up on some of the things that you're focused on. And I think it's important that the people start to get some sense that there's going to be some social justice being meted out to them in Trinidad and Tobago. That's
Amen.
just my addition to one of the things that should be focused on also.
Receive.
I appreciate everything that you're saying and the focus that you're bringing to this new, well, should I say, party? Is it a party yet?
Yeah.
It is a party.
Yeah.
It is a party.
But
All right,
Errol, before you go, right? What's your take on the 7.5 million being spent on Independence Day celebration? I know you might be partaking in that 7.5 million.
Yeah.
Because that invite.
Whether I'm participating or not, because I haven't been booked for anything yet, I may be, you never know. I think it's a small amount to spend on something like a Diamond Jubilee. However, it's an obscene amount to spend in our present condition, with so many other things that need to have some money thrown at it. I think we can look to, because it's a big deal for us all, I think we can look to the organizations and ask organizations to come with their membership and present things. As a comedian, as a host, if I'm told this is our 60th anniversary, we needed to come in pro bono to do something for us, I will be there. I don't care who's asking. Our Diamond Jubilee is a big deal, and I would give of my services for nothing to be a part of it. And I think there are enough entertainers and lightsmen and mic men and costume people and all of the things we want to do to celebrate. There are enough who would say, this is for country, I'm coming to do it. You know, I feel as though
you're not getting nothing because you're with NTA and you come on WZYE, so you're getting so.
But that's all right. That's all right. I have Gael. I could celebrate independence, 60th anniversary of Gael. I have a community I could celebrate in the streets here. There's nothing stopping us from celebrating, you know. And when we get pushed into the corner where the celebration is only what the government does, then we've missed an opportunity that is needed to help develop that sense of patriotism and that sense of ownership among us as Trinbagonian nationals.
You know, Errol, I added something to what you said, right? I felt that as part as many corporations, corporate social responsibility, right? And this is the 60th Jubilee celebration. The corporations could have partake in funding these celebrations. And the government could have taken that $7.5 million and put it elsewhere because of the Gova season now in Trinidad and Tobago.
We have at least 5 commercial banks who have been doing hundreds of millions of dollars in profit after tax per quarter. As a state, I come into all here, I come in and say, hey, I want 2 million each.
Correct.
This is because you're doing business here.
Correct.
We have conglomerates making hand over fist, and you making your money here, right? So give back to the people. I go into at least 20 such companies and ask for my 2 million for the people. It's not for me. It's not to go in my pocket as they state, and you'd have to pay me. So we having something out of the Diwali Naga that's costing so much, you paying for that. They're having this there because that's how they fund the party, you know. And go back to the same people and tell them, okay, you paying for t-shirts, you paying for Moko Jumbes, you paying for, and the state don't have to take the taxpayers' money to pay for anything. There's enough money here to pay for it and enough goodwill here to get the celebrations going at the level that they want it done. But if it's in a time of plenty, I would say that they should triple or quadruple what they're spending, and really let's bring that sense of ownership among the citizenry.
But Errol,
patriotism.
Why haven't they done that though? Why didn't they do that?
I don't know. I tell you, I think these guys are punch drunk and they've been beaten and they're afraid to do things and afraid to act. They have become imprisoned by their own lack of being inclusive, and that is where they found themselves.
Well, Errol Fabian, we want to say thank you so much for taking the time to join us here tonight. It was a pleasure. Any closing words before you go?
Yeah, I'd like to wish God's richest blessings for you all and your families and for the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. And I want to apologize again for joining you later than I promised you that I will. Thank you very much for having me.
That's okay.
Thank you.
We have to connect. We'll connect on another level.
Just know,
I look forward.
Just know for a fact, whenever you think you want to come on to tell us something about what's going on in the NTA, you have free reign in order to do that.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. I'll reach out.
All right, man. Bless.
I'll share some of my poetry with you. You can perform it on stage.
Okay. God bless you all. Just try.
Good night, sir.
So there you have it, folks.
Yep.
I mean,
straight up and down.
Straight up, man. Yeah. If you didn't know about, you know, some of his difficulties that he faced, you know, in life, you know.
No, you do.
No, you do. You know what I mean? And you see, boy, and that's what it is, you know. It's about giving people an opportunity to come and talk. I mean, a lot of what Errol said, it makes sense, you know, boss. I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of what he said makes sense. And all I was saying is that, you see, if people could hear more of a contrast to Gary Griffith, it's compare and contrast, right? Because Errol is more the opposite side, and you could see the fella have think through these things, and there's a thought process that goes into it.
Yeah, so his boss is a strategic thinker. He realizes, you know, he has a yes, Mr. GG, I'm talking about you. Don't send nobody to arrest me. You know, he realizes, you know, we've chastised him for his brusqueness in the manner in which he speaks. So perhaps, you know, by employing such people around him, you know, it will remind him that he has to be a little more courteous.
Yeah.
I think he brings equilibrium to the party.
Correct.
Yeah, he balances off Gigi's abrasive demeanor.
And I think he can be the change that you want to see in Gigi, you know what I mean? For the betterment of the country. You see? And I think what Guy Griffith has to understand is that when people put facts on the table, it's not they're trying to destroy you or anything.
No.
You know, you just see him in Trinidad with the politicians and them. If you put facts on the table, somehow you think, you know, you hate them or you don't like them or you want to destroy them. And you know, that's the way to make the party better. You know, let me say welcome to Judy. Judy, welcome. Judy says they're making billions but don't give back. But you are correct. They certainly sponsors the celebration. Yeah. But think about it. The PNM don't have nobody inside a day who could tell them that all your listener, we don't have to spend that 7.5 million. You know what some people say? You know what some PNM people say? Oh, why they are going to ask the contractors and them? Right? But wait now, who them does live off of? Who does be getting them big contracts year after year after year? Not the government. It's not
And
the
who,
government.
and who the government represents? Not the people of the nation.
And whose money the government is spending?
The taxpayers' money.
Now who's the taxpayers?
And the revenues that the nation's resources generate.
Yeah. Rennie, I missed your question. What do you think about the property tax system? I missed that one. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, you know, I like how Errol and they run the MC.
They come with it. Like Black Stalin, come with it.
Run try to put a ring around the roses question. Errol tell you, man, ask the question, man. If you ask the question, that's why it is, you know, when you come in the village, if you want to ask a question, ask the question. You know, we don't mince matters in the village. We just ask questions other radio stations can't ask, and they won't ask. You know, we just ask them questions, right? That's why many people, right? Look, Gary been here 3 times, right? 3 times, right? Ask him tough questions. He may not like it, but you ask him tough questions. Anybody come into the village, respectfully though, respectfully. And that's how we do it here in the village with that triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM. You know? And we allow people from all different. Okay, I had to plug in. Yeah, I had to plug in my laptop here, guys. So just go ahead. Let me plug in my laptop.
Ron M. See what he says here? Errol is just an exchange. PNM government. Ron, the whole thing about to get changed up. It's going to change up.
You see, there will always be issues going on when people are so resistant to change. They just want the same old, over and over and over again, and expect different results.
But what you see, what is happening? The voting demographic has changed. There's a whole heap of young people when we voted. So that is why I tell them the whole thing about to change up. And the young people ain't the old heads, you know, PNM or UNC or the young people want change.
Now, listen to this guy. Listen to this guy. You know, sometimes I don't know, boy. Ron says Errol is an exchange PNM government. Think about that, right? You know, sometimes there's a book called Quick to Listen, Slow to Speak. I'll recommend that to Ron. Errol Fabien said the last 3 times he ran as an independent.
That's right.
An independent. Independent, you know. He also said that he was approached by other parties. He ran as an independent 3 times. Which I didn't even know. Right? But he is just an exchange PNM government. Imagine that. Ron, you had to start to take your eye out of that yellow juice, eh?
Whoa.
You have your eye in that yellow juice too much. Seriously. You had to take your eye out of the yellow juice. Or else tell me take the balize out of my ears. You have to take that yellow juice out of your eyes because you didn't listen to what the man said. The man told you want to treat him as an independent, but you come in with Errol is just an exchange PNM government. Come on, man. You have to come better than that, right? And you see, Errol make you out by a roundabout, wrong the mulberry bush question.
No.
That you was trying to ask, and you're afraid to ask where you want to ask. Ask where you want to ask. Don't come around the mulberry bush. You're going around the mulberry bush like you're playing rounders. You know you're playing rounders? You know? Stop playing rounders, man. If you have a question you want to ask the question. Don't beat around the bush. When the man call you out, because you figure you out. The man even know you and he figure you out. Right? No, you want to tell the man about something. Come on, man. Hey, look, we partner Anderson Wilson. Anderson, how you going, my brother? I ain't see where's Where's Anderson girlfriend name again? Shakira? Is Shakira?
I
Akira.
thought,
Akira. It's Akira.
no, I thought it was Lydia.
No, it's Akira.
Oh.
Lydia. We get
Well,
Lydia.
there's Lydia, there's Akira, there's Shamfa.
Wait,
There's a whole heap of them. Yeah.
You trying to get out of same trouble.
You
That's
trying
what
to
you
get
trying
Anderson
to
in trouble?
You trying to get out of same trouble.
Oh God! You get Anderson once to that woman. Who is that? Judy. Who's the three of them? Who's the three of them?
Shakira, Avira, and Jamila.
Oh God! Anderson, Anna. Anderson is the love child and the beaten boy.
Yeah.
Anderson is not me, eh? It's Diana Benskin.
Not me. I only see what goes on in the chat.
Hey, look, Denise G join us for the first time in like 2 years. I mean 2 months. Denise G.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She said good night. Thanks for having Errol on. Very interesting dialogue. Yeah, that was an interesting dialogue, man. Very interesting.
Very much so.
Yeah.
He represented his boss very well.
He did very well. He did very, very well. He did very well. Any tough question, he get eaten for 6, man. He said, it is splendiferously high. It is fantabulously far. It is marvelously gone.
Oh, Lord. Hey, Mrs. LeBon, give here a pill quick now. Oh, Lord.
Wait now, you like my commentary. Don't try that now, man.
Oh.
Hey, look, Denise say what? No, I had no access to the chat for some reason. Denise, come now, man. What kind of excuse is that?
Like the PNM messing with you.
Wait. yeah. You want run say. Run. Ron say, all you are accustomed to playing win ball cricket Wall Street. All you cannot bat hard ball. That is why you all enable with the hardcore questions. So I'm accustomed to being put in the corner. No, you wasn't playing, you was not put in the corner for no hard questions.
Oh.
No. Yeah. What questions you put in the corner for, Ron?
You put in the corner because when it's time to run, you went around the mulberry bush.
Right, Tommy, there you go. That's it. I just say you run around the mulberry bush. Wait now. Yes, Denise, please don't bring my wife into this.
Oh.
Denise says, I just complained to your wife, and all of a sudden I get access.
Oh.
leave my wife out of this. Judy says, ha, Wall Street, you're not easy now. Now, man, Ron is with partner, man. All of a sudden, Ron does call Nuts Cake. He does call Dave Stealth. He has called Stealth Bomber. He does call, what's the other one? Carrot Cake. Is the other one?
Mad Dog.
He does call Mad Dog. And
Crazy Canine.
Yeah, the Crazy Canine. Which one is that? Yes, I'm
Mad Dog.
Huh?
Crazy Canine is Mad Dog, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You call 5 of them and that's coming. And yeah, that's coming one after the other, you know. But Ron, as we say when we start the program, everybody is welcome in the village.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. We don't censor nobody. We don't unless you become disrespectful.
Oh, obscene.
We have a very respectful chat. Very respectful. We respectful to all, and we don't care what party you part of. That is, and your opinion is welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome. Right? We just trying to make a difference in radio as far as Trinidad and Tobago is concerned. That is all.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And everybody should have a hearing. It shouldn't be a station that's pro-PNM or pro-UNC or anti-PNM or anti-UNC.
It's pro-Trinidad and Tobago.
Yep.
Right.
Judy want to get Errol in trouble, you know. Judy Judy said Errol did better than his boss.
Oh,
Yeah, but
oh.
putting all joke aside, do we really believe that Gigi is going to make a good prime minister?
Well,
I can answer that.
go ahead.
Personality-wise, what do you think? I mean, what you see in the day, you don't need a night to put on the light.
Yeah.
Donald Trump was president, so anything
Yeah,
is possible.
what was he? He was a disaster.
Anything is possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's possible, but we knew what was coming with Trump, and we got just what we knew was coming. Those of us who had good sense.
Tommy, Nadia answer your question already. She says no.
Thank you, Nad.
Nadia,
You're still a sweetheart.
yeah. Kapiza, what song you want me to play? Give me the song you want to play.
Go ahead.
But listen to this, right? I believe that Gary Griffith cannot continue his belligerent ways and expect to get the people to like him, to vote for him to become the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Right? And you could never say that a person will not change. Right? But I believe that if there are the right people around them, in order to tell them that, listen, when a person give you constructive criticism, the easiest way to deal with that person is to come back with a great answer. Or?
You know, I agree with everything you're saying, Master Wall Street. But I'll tell you one thing. A person would tell you what you want to hear to get where they want to get to. And once they get to where they believe they need to be, they can drop the guards or more than often they get right back to where they like to be or where they're comfortable. And
you are correct.
Their comfort zone might be very displeasing to the masses.
I can't argue with you. You're absolutely correct.
And I have an example that I wouldn't call the name on.
And I have an example too. So that's why I can't argue with you. I
know what you're talking about.
I can't argue with you.
But so it was in the beginning. The Bible says so it shall be in the end. So
okay.
But and there are redeeming factors in all of us, man.
If you want to, if people want to. But remember, you cannot legislate people's thoughts and actions.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, but like you were talking about demeanors. A person's demeanor that's part of that's like part of their DNA.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
No, Tommy, you are absolutely correct, because I mean, Dr. Rowley fooled a lot of people here in the diaspora. He fooled us. Hands down, he absolutely fooled us. He took us for fools in the diaspora. He did take us for fools, because when he was standing there talking about how he was going to engage the diaspora when he was an opposition leader, many of us felt that, listen, this is the change that we're looking for as far as the leadership in Trinidad and Tobago is concerned. And that's why many of us went out of the way to make sure that all the events that were held in this country was first-rated events.
Because what happens with the belief was that we really make a difference in making the land a better place, that we could look forward to retiring and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Eugene Julian, welcome. Boy, hey, Tommy. Judy Descent says, Tommy, no way, right? Eugene Julian says, if Gigi ever becomes PM, there will be protests in TNT every week. I don't think so. You think so? No, I don't think so. Kapiza says, Ansem, did you get fooled? I wasn't. Kapiza, you was there? I don't know. Look, Edison Prince, welcome. Edison Prince, welcome. Edison Prince says, play the Tobago boy, somebody on the owner, man. I, Edison Prince,
we
welcome.
have more serious things to be concerned about. We getting into the Honaman situation is just playing that foolish card that's being played.
Yeah, Ron DMC says Gary Griffith will make a great commissioner of police again. As I said before, you see, sometimes we have to take our emotions and our feelings out of it. And Gary Griffith did something and said some things that he should never have said as commissioner of police, and did some things that extrajudicial killing. I'm absolutely not for that. That one shot, one kill thing, I'm not for that. That cockroaches thing, I'm not for that. But at the end of the day, many of the people in Trinidad and Tobago felt much more safer. They felt it because we don't live in Trinidad and Tobago, and they felt much safer, and we can't go against their wishes. Now, if most of the people say they don't want him back, then so be it. But we cannot go against the wishes of the people of Trinidad and Tobago if it's that what they want. You know what I mean?
Guess what? He may have been good, but guess what? Where there's good, there's better and there's best. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Well, I don't have a problem giving Watchman a try. I don't have a problem. I really don't have a problem.
I have my opinions also, which I'm gonna say, but I know that if he is good, there has to be better and best.
So Capize is asking me a question. Answer, who is the PNM next leader in your choice? I can't answer that question though, because I don't know who's going to run for political leader. I don't know who's going to run against Dr. Rowley. When the people go up against Dr. Rowley, not in this election here, nobody inside the cabinet can run against him. Nobody's going to run against him.
Okay, not can't, won't.
Won't run against him. Yeah, won't run against him. That's right. Ellis says 97% of the people want him back and 3% against. Ellis, where you get that statistics from? Is that a statistics done by a poller, or is that Gary Griffith statistics? I'm just asking. Gary have plenty statistics, Gary
statistics.
Statistics. Yeah, Ellis. Ellis, where you get them statistics from? Stats in England, You call him and get them stats out. I don't know, but he couldn't call him because his wife had his phone. I don't know how he get that.
So. What stats is trying to seek asylum or something?
No, I don't know. He's in the UK, man. He did a live the other day.
Okay.
Why you all in Stark's business?
Yeah. No, he was supposed to go Grenada, yeah. Julie says, Gigi don't care about certain sector of the masses. Look how he had cops treat the citizens of TNT during protests. His cops treated those in the savannah indignant, inhuman treatment causes harm. Okay. Curry says, Caris is a comedian. I don't know. Caris was just funny. Caris says Colin will make a good leader. He will lead and not even his wife will follow. When I read the first part, I don't go after, I'll get ready to go after Sheena. But Colin for the leader at PNM, you want another foreigner, a light-skinned foreigner, a short light-skinned foreigner to come and lead the PNM. Yeah, I'm ready to go after Carissa, but then I read the last part.
Yeah, she's a comedian.
These guys are a good one. I like that one too bad. Yeah, I know. Everybody look like they're taking tips from Ellis, boy. Yeah. Denise said something like we putting pelting mud on the wall to see what will stick. I keep telling them that. We keep throwing spaghetti up on the wall and see what will stick. That is it.
Right.
Capiza choice is Faris, Imbut, and Stewart. None of them fellas. None of them fellas. None of them. Them three of them. None of them could become political leader of the PNM. None of them. Them fellas of them. Please. Let Faris stay collecting the money from the government. Let Imbut stay with the building on Picton Street, named by that slave master, Picton. And let Stuart stay with NIB where he better collecting hundreds of millions from the government. Ellis says it was done by the guy on your program a few nights ago. Oh, it was? Dr. Shane? We Ellis Adak, Dr. Shane, that boy.
Well, listen.
No. Ellis says that Dr. Shane put out them statistics that 97% won Gary and 3% was against. All right. Yeah. Judy says, Tommy, please stop. No honor, man. Laugh out loud.
We're going back on that horn thing again.
Judy says, Wall Street is all in their minds. As long as Gigi talking about the pest, the nations feel safe.
Right? Perception.
Yeah, boy. Perception, reality, you know.
That's right.
Ellis says, but while we are against Gigi, the blood of innocent people continue to be consumed by ants, roach, and pus, and dog will continue to sip the blood of the innocent. Oh, God. Ellis, boy. Tommy, Judy says, sir. Tommy, I love your diplomacy. I tell you, Tommy is the even keel one, boy. Very even keel and hit the nail on the head. What axe?
Thank you, Judy.
One pong on the nail going straight.
I don't like all you could do this comparison thing, right? Good.
No, well, but you know that's humans. You know
all right, all you trying to say that I am the stormy one? That's what all you trying to say?
No, you're not the stormy one. You just name yourself Storm. That's all.
It wasn't me. It was the chap.
But you accept it willingly and lovingly.
But you started typing it in.
I type. What I type for you?
When I talk about the poor children getting the food and the fellow with the kid that had gas pain, and I get vexed about those things. And the old people say, no, in the rain they get the jab, the juice, the jab, and all that. You all name me the Storm. I'm a very level, cool-headed person.
But you know, on a serious note, I was listening to a chat of a parent talking about school books, and the fact that from one semester or 1 year, school year to another,
they change it up.
They change the books, and it's a new edition, 2 lines different, and that kind of thing. But you know, there's some.
And also too, some books are being used at one school, ain't using at the Ivy League schools.
Tommy, let me say something to people. You see that is how the publishers and them make money and the bookstore makes money. So this is what people have to do, right? You don't have to buy the 12th edition, you know. Buy the 11th edition. It's 99% of it is the same thing. They just reword certain things and add on a sentence here, add on a line there, but at the end of the day, it's almost the same thing because we have the same thing too. Like I have an 11th edition, I have a 12th edition. The 11th edition, when I compare them, it's almost the same thing. So to me, if I am a parent and my daughter used to buy all her books, all her used books on Amazon, all of them. And she ain't buy no new book. She buy them, if it's the 12th edition, she buy the 11th edition and it might be half the price. And the same thing, same thing. As a matter of fact, what you could do is just take your book and if you think look in it and you could compare it to somebody else's book. And, you know, you don't even worry about it.
It's a money-making scheme.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
and then
everybody
like
gotta live.
Diana was just saying, in one school they all taking the same standardized exam, but they use
Mhm.
one book in one school and another book in another school, which is totally different.
Mm.
That is a lot of injustice.
Yep.
Yeah, but I, I don't think that is an injustice that's being imposed by the government. I
So
think
No,
who sets the exam? Who sets the curriculum and the material to be used in the curriculum?
yeah,
the
but
school
Diana,
board.
if I am a book company, for example, McGraw-Hill is a book company,
Mhm.
and you get your books from McGraw-Hill. If McGraw-Hill said that they have a 12th edition, the school will just go with the 12th edition, and it's no longer an 11th edition. But you as a parent have to understand that, you know what? The 11th edition and the 12th edition is 90, all right, let's say 90% the same, right? If they don't get that 10%, it's a small percentage with respect to the book, right? And I don't think the teacher going to go to where the teachers are going to compare the 11th edition to the 12th edition. Well, I just compare it. You understand?
Now would the standardized exam reflect the 12th edition as opposed to the 11th edition?
Well, it's not much changes though. It's not much changes in order for it to reflect in the exam. You see, it's not much changes unless it's mathematics and there's different formulas now. Like for example, like I teach in global business, for example, right? I mean, you have an 11th edition, you have a 12th edition. When you compare the same thing, it might be that they reword a sentence differently, right? They might interchange numbers. Number 1 becomes number 5, and number 5 becomes number 2. You know what I mean? You had to earn your dollars, right?
Mhm.
Right. So, yeah, I do think. I think my advice to parents would be like, listen, get the 1 edition behind. You'll be fine. You won't have much difficulties. But the school go tell you get the new edition.
Hmm.
Now let's say they get homework and they say, well, do all the questions to chapter 13, and one edition doesn't have the new edition has more questions or different questions. What happens when you turn the work in, your homework in, or whatever?
Well, I mean, for example, if the person tells you, I want you to do the 10 questions or the 12 questions, whatever the questions are. If you see there's only 11 questions, you're going to go and ask the professor or ask somebody in the class who has the new book, that my book only have 11 questions. What is the 12th question?
Not
And
just that. What if
Tommy, very rarely do they change the questions. Very rarely do they do. They do change. Very rarely do they change the questions.
Mm.
But I think you wouldn't have a problem if you're using the edition before, as opposed to the current edition.
And Slow, when I went to school, I had, when they using the 5th edition, I had the 6th edition. I had edition number 2. And I still get my work done and
Yeah,
pass the
yeah,
course.
yeah. Yeah,
So,
it doesn't change that much. But you see,
no.
they're not
so
going to tell you that.
someone has to inform the parents and help to empower them in a way where they don't have to fork out these large sums of money for the newest and latest and
Yeah, the school
greatest.
not going to tell you that though. Like the school don't tell my daughter, listen, you have to. The school don't tell you could use the 10th edition. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you got to use the 12th edition. You know what I mean?
Approaching company, I'll answer.
Yeah. All right. So Capiza, Run DMC, Carice, Denise G, Ellis, Judy. I ain't see Lana tonight. I ain't see Takesha was here early. Rennie Muhammad. Nadia. Put closing comments in the chat, please. So put closing comments in the chat. I ain't see Joan. I'm the Joan.
She went walking.
Oh, I mean, yeah. What Rose?
Not sure.
But you know, Joan didn't tell me about that party she went the other night, you know. What happened?
Oh, you mean, oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
The special date she had.
Yeah, she was dulzing up and all kind of things.
I drinking water, minding my business. I'm not getting
remind me to ask you now, next time she comes.
Not me, you deal with Joan.
I just want to ask you a little question. She put it in the chat, you know.
Why you want to know where she going? That's her business.
I want to know where she going. I just asked she how the party was. That is all.
She will come for you. You keep it up.
Of course, it's in the village with the triplets at WZYE 95.9 FM. All right. Who put our closing song? Somebody.
You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, Maplewood, New Jersey.
Kapiza, did you put our closing song? Let's go for a quick station identification. We'll be right back after this. Stick on Sedo going away. Send a village with the triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9
FM. Nadia said Joan walked away. I know Joe likes seeing walk today. Nadia, you didn't walk today either? What going on? Or let us only walk 5 days a week? Or?
Look, I went to the gym for 3 days.
But no, but I didn't ask you nothing. I asked you your business. I talking to Nadia and Joan.
I engage in you in conversation. Do not interrupt me.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. Sorry, I apologize. Go ahead, I'm listening.
I don't know.
Oh, that's it. Oh, God.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to say my closing comment because I'm a little, I got to go jump in my bed. I just want to say empowered people, empower people. Empower the people, empower people. This is your global ambassador and your poet, bidding you auf Wiedersehen until we meet again. Good night, beloved people, and stay safe.
Thank you, Diana.
Good night, Diana.
So, folks, of course, in the words of Martin Luther King, your life ends the day you remain silent about things that matter, and you don't have to see all the flights in the staircase. You only have to see the first flight. From where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall said that's all. I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. And for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Go ahead, Tommy.
These are the words of Barack Obama. Hope is a thing inside us that insists, despite all the evidence to the contrary, that something better awaits us if we have the courage to reach for it and to work for it and to fight for it. A pleasant good night to each and everyone. It's been a pleasure being here in the village. Look forward to seeing you on the next edition. Please be safe. Love you all. Good night.
Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you.
Let me see here. Judy says, good night, all beloved souls. Happy weekend. Be safe out there, Wall Street. I enjoyed the dialogue, Mr. Fabian. Yes, we want to say a special thank you to Errol Fabien, the new communication director of the NTA. We learned quite a lot, and it was a very vibrant dialogue with Mr. Fabian. So, Mr. Fabian, thank you very much. Curry says, good night, everyone. Keep safe. One love, one peace. Yeah, any moment we go play that one. Laughing, playing clothes. We go simply go play that. We have that one.
Nice plain clothes or Pink Panther?
Plain clothes. plain clothes.
Laughing in the ghetto?
No, laughing. Everybody laughing.
Oh,
Laughing
yes.
Pink Panther have 1-2 called Laughing in the Ghetto. That was his answer to Singing Sandra.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Ron DMC says, interesting program, but don't try to diss the educated. Belittling me wouldn't change the reality of the country and citizens under the system. Nobody trying to belittle you, Ron. Come on, man.
Go in the corner, Ron. You got this one wrong. I put you in the corner.
All right, Diana, you put me in the corner.
I put you in the corner.
He can't say I did it. Nadia says, Ansem, no, I didn't walk today. I was out for the day. All right.
Oh, so what you was doing when you was out for the day, Nadia?
You didn't want Ansem to mind whoever it is, Jones business.
Joan business.
You want to mind Nadia business? Come on,
Nadia business.
You was driving all day, Nadia? You was in a car?
She has to answer that.
You was in a motor car, the Bajans would say. You was in a motor car?
No, she was on a motorbike.
Alice she on a motorcycle, man. A motorcycle.
Oh, Lord.
Alice's closing comment is, one lie cancels 1,000 truths. Stop telling bad spirits good news.
I like that one, boy.
Yeah, every once in a while, Alice just come with a good one. Only once in a while.
I'm still telling your wife to take with her laptop. You wait. What's I done here?
Okay. Denise says somebody don't want to lose another initial. I wonder if Gigi's talking about, right? Yeah, Denise says, thank you to that team for keeping it positive and continue to showcase.
You're going soft again.
Listen, the mic went low.
This is a radio show, Diana. Be careful.
Yeah, the mic gone low. The volume in the mic went low. Denise says, thank you, that team, for keeping it positive and continuing to showcase the key issues going on in TNT and bringing it with wisdom and guests every time. Thank you, Denise.
Thanks, Denise.
Yeah. Who else? All right, I think that is it. I ain't see no closing comment by Capisa. I know. Like Judy says good night. Or should Alice say, or she like just put the mic inside your mouth to talk over?
Oh, that's it. I call in your wife as I am here. Yeah. Alice.
Alice is a comedian.
Yeah. Wait now. Look. I feel, you know what? I had to start to figure out this thing. I feel Eugene Julian wife just take away your phone to her.
Oh no.
No, I don't feel that because what? The last comment was like about 8:50 p.m. Right? His now last comment is 10:05 p.m. Closing comments. Wall Street, pay a speeding ticket. You will not win in court. I feel his wife just take away your phone too. I feel so. And I feel he have a B mobile phone and not digital. I just feel so. Run, hey, Diana, Ron say he's in the corner. He had been in
the corner, good. Stay there and don't you come out until I tell you to. Oh boy.
Oh God, he got in the corner. You know, he's an obedient fella, you know. That's a good thing. I like that about him. Yeah. Nadia said, bless good night, everyone in the village. Good show tonight. Yeah. You got in the corner. Yeah.
Thank you, lads.
Hey, but look, Albert just come.
Hey.
Albert said
Albert chose football over we. I will put he in the corner too.
Yeah, Albert, but no, the man had to watch football. Yeah, he watch football. Albert, good night, Diana. But wait now. Tommy, what about you and I, boy?
I don't want a good night from you. You was wherever you're coming here. I don't know who you are.
Good night, Diana. My soccer team beat. Game finished. Toronto beat Timberlake 3-1.
Wow.
Albert.
Wait today I watch Man, you get 4-0, boy.
Who be them?
Well, a low-rated team.
Man, you get that. Man, use my team, you know, to get that bad boy.
Yeah, boy. Cristiano Ronaldo crying.
He's still playing? Okay.
All things change up.
So Ron says shifting the goalposts and changing the narrative doesn't alter the reality that we are not suffering with a social problem in society. I think we have social problems in Trinidad. I think that's a foregone conclusion. Hailey says positivity keeps you blessed and not easily ruffled by negativity. Drink plenty water. Hailey, I no joke, you know, boy. I just try my best to drink at least 64 ounces of water a day, you know. It ain't easy.
I wish I liked water that way, boy. I need to
I
like
love water.
Why?
I would drink water at the drop of a hat.
Let me tell you, first thing on morning before I eat or drink anything, before I do eat or anything, I drink 32 ounces of water and I squeeze half a lemon in the water.
That's what I do too.
Every single morning. Every morning.
Yeah, well, I have water. I have hot water first thing in the morning with either a little bit of salt, pink salt, or either a little bit of apple cider vinegar with mother, of course.
Ellis says, beautiful program, people. Good night. We don't have a top cup, so be your own top cup and take care of yourself and family. Bye. Good night, Ellis. Good night.
Good night.
But good night, Carice. All right, so we're gonna go out with everybody laughing.
Okay.
Here we go. All right, folks. Good night.
It's time Trinidadian learn some sense and stop taking serious things for nonsense and laughing. Anything that takes place in this country, whether it affects the country or we laughing. What's Saranga throwing the same rate? Hospital and Smith is in second place and we laughing. We my people coming from heaven knows they walk in the street with the thing exposed and we laughing. Everybody laughing, everybody glad, everybody keeps saying up on we in Trinidad. Always reshuffling cabinet and up to now they can't do nothing yet and we laughing. We buy a boat and it never floats, instead we know it used to carry boat and we laughing. Raise the salary with a big back pay and we trenching for workers every day and we laughing. When election come and you wouldn't vote or you say in this we go cut it throat and we laughing. Everybody laughing, everybody glad, everybody keeps singing up on we in Trinidad. All our justice trade bill in record time, people asking if we promoting crime and we laughing. Can't finish the hospital or priority, but they finish the money in the treasury and we laughing. We've got looting half a million a day, it's jam on the main road and the highway and we laughing. They went from Malik and the Guyanese, let go holler run off the hook quickly and we laughing. Everybody laughing, everybody glad, everybody keeps saying up on we in Trinidad. Some Barbadians say Adam shouldn't dead, that 13 PM should have dead instead and we laughing. We see two the commissioner police, things that happen look crime on the increase and we laughing. The minister say crime on the decline and in 3 months they more than 29 and we laughing. Everybody laughing, everybody glad, everybody keeps saying no fun, we in Trinidad.